The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets somehow scored 32 points. Justin Fields looked incredible, and they lost. Of course.
Joining us right now is a new member of the ESPN family. He's the one nobody gives a shit.
Oh, that was great. That was perfect. Nobody gives a shit.
The 2025 New York Jets season is officially here. Can Aaron Glenn lead the team back to the playoffs and finally deliver on the promise this roster has shown? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
The pain is back. The Jet season's underway, and somehow they find a new way to lose. If I would have told any Jet fan that they would have almost 400 yards of offense today, that Justin Fields would go out there and he would look at times like he was Lamar Jackson, like he was prime Michael Vick, like he was Jaden Daniels, insert whoever, and they would lose, you wouldn't believe me. You wouldn't believe me. Look at the box score from the Jet offense. Fields today, 16-22 passing. He was efficient. He threw a great touchdown to Garrett in the first half. He obviously had 2 rushing touchdowns today, another 48 yards on the ground. They ran the ball for 182 yards. Garrett almost had 100 receiving yards. If I showed you this box score before the game, you would have thought there's no way they're losing. So I'm not doing moral victories. I'm not doing the offense was awesome. This sucks, man. They lost. Point blank. They lost. And they lost because of things that were so preventable. That's what's so disgusting about this loss. They lost because they had Xavier Gipson on kickoffs. They never, ever should have had Xavier Gipson on the 53-man roster. This is not a second guess. And Xavier Gipson is only the kick returner because Nwannu got hurt in the first half. There's that. There's, Michael Carter not coming up with a huge interception that hits him in the hands. There's Brandon Stevens not coming up with an interception that hits him in the hands because he slips. The defense had so many chances today, and they just couldn't do it. And then, of course, a 60-yard field goal by Boswell, really? That's how they're going to lose? It's just, and then the last play at the end, Fields could have either ran it himself or he hits Garrett, and Garrett's had such a good game and just can't make the play there. It's just, I don't want to hear that. Moral victory. It's like, no, man, win games. They got Buffalo next week. They're looking at 0-2 in the face right now. That's why this would have been so big. You could have completely changed the narrative on the season. They played so well for a lot of this game. They really did. Fields was awesome. And I've never been the biggest Justin Fields believer. But, man, how do you not look at that performance and I go, wow, I thought Tanner Engstrand called a hell of a game. I thought the Jets did so many good things today. It was just a couple plays, man. It was obviously the Gipson fumble on the kickoff. He's holding the ball in the wrong hand. It was just the critical mistakes, man. The 2-point conversions way too early. And this is, look, I understood what Glenn was trying to do. I thought it was too early to be that aggressive in the first half going for 2. And if you are going for 2, I don't think you could take the ball out of Justin Fields' hands there. They handed it off to Braylon Allen. And then the second 2-point conversion was even worse because you had to burn a timeout after you get this great touchdown. And you're throwing to Garrett Wilson, who's double covered in the corner. That can't be the play call if you're going to go for 2 there. You have to just let Fields make plays, man. So I hated that. That to me was a huge problem. But, man, like the Jets, they outgained the Steelers. They put more pressure on Rodgers than Pittsburgh was able to put on Fields. I thought the Jets' play calling kept Pittsburgh's defense completely off balance. They ran the ball well. I mean, the Jets converted in the red zone 3 out of 4 times. They just didn't make enough plays. They won the time of possession. I mean, it's just that one turnover by Gibson and the 2-point conversions, man. That's the difference in this game. The margin was razor thin. I know Rodgers statistically, you look at his performance, you go, oh, he torched the Jets. If you watch the game, it really wasn't that. You know, I went into this game thinking if the Jets were going to lose, it was going to be an ugly, close game. The overhit at halftime. I mean, this was a shootout, 34-32. It doesn't feel real. So to lose that game after how well the offense played, after how well Justin Fields played, it's just, it's tough to stomach, man. And I get it. They did a lot of positives. And if Fields could replicate that going forward, you feel great. But is he? You don't know. This was a great opportunity to get a win, change the narrative right away. And honestly, give the Jets credit. I thought the meltdown was going to be complete when you had the fumble by Gibson and then immediately Rodgers, first pass, touchdown. But then the Jets responded and scored, which was very un-Jet-like. They actually handled adversity and responded. Fields, man, you're not going to hear me criticize him at all. This is not the show for that. He played certainly well enough to win. You score 32 points, you got to win the game. This came down to a couple of plays, man. Nick Folk makes an extra point. All of a sudden, the whole game could be different. They don't go for 2 in the first half. Too early to be chasing points like that. I hated it at the time. I hated the play call even more. It's just, man, like, even when they do so many things right, they still lose. It's just so frustrating, man. The Jet defense was so disappointing today. They really were. They could not stop the coverage breakdowns. What the hell happened in the first half, especially? Michael Carter was not good at all. Stevens, we're going to kill him all week, I'm sure, but it's just like, man. I apologize in advance for my voice. Thanks to all the Jet fans who were tuned in. It's just, they had this game. It was right there. They had it. You know, they blitzed a lot more. They got home with Quincy and Sherwood, and Quinnen had a really good game. It's like individually, how did they lose? You go down the line, there were so many players who I thought played well, but collectively the defense didn't. Because every time they had a chance to get off the field and really dictate the game, right? They got up 2 scores, but they didn't do enough because they had the critical turnover by Gibson. It's just, man, it's so frustrating because individually so many Jet players played well. But man, that switch in the fourth quarter when the Jets are up 26-17 and then Rodgers leads a 9-play drive, they score, it's 26-24, and then the fumble 2 plays later, touchdown, for the Jets to then go down the field and have a 12-play, 67-yard drive that took up 7 minutes of the clock of their own. Score, then force a 3-and-out, and not end up winning the game. It's demoralizing, man. It really is. I'm sorry. This is a devastating loss. I don't care if you want to spin it with the positives. They had a chance to win a game at home, get off to a good start, not have to worry about 0-2 with Buffalo coming to town next week. That's going to be a tough game to win, especially if Buffalo loses tonight to Baltimore, which is certainly possible. It was right there for them, man. They could have won this football game. They should have won this football game. And it's all self-inflicted, man. Xavier Gibson should not have been out there in the first place. And if he is out there, he's supposed to be a veteran returner at this point. He's in his 3rd year. Hold the ball in the right hand, man. Come on. That's basic football 101 there. It's just the little things. But this wasn't, Rodgers comes back. That's not what happened. We watched the game. It wasn't like Rodgers throwing all down the field. There were so many coverage breakdowns. How are guys not on the same page? I mean, they allowed 17 points in the fourth quarter. That can't happen. I am so disappointed in this defense. I expect so much more from that unit than what we saw. So much more. And it's not just Brandon Stevens. It's easy to pile on him. Michael Carter didn't have a good game today. There were opportunities, man. You had chances to pick Rodgers off twice. They didn't do it each time. That's the difference, right? This game came down to one turnover. The Jets had 2 cracks. 2. And getting an interception off Aaron Rodgers that could have drastically changed the outcome of this game. They didn't do it. That's it. They had the least amount of turnovers in football last year, and that's the next thing to get them to the next level. They have to force turnovers. They didn't. They had 2 chances. They didn't take advantage. It's just, this is so deflating, man. So deflating. They played so much better than anyone could have imagined on offense today, and to still not win after that is just, I'm disgusted. I'm sorry. But the positives, enough of the positives. I want to win games. They were right there. They should have won this game. Brutal. I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe I'll calm down after, 24 hours go by and we can talk about some of the things that went well. But if you want positivity, this is not going to be the show for you because I'm hurting right now. I am. They had this game. They had it. They could have won this game. They should have won this game, and they didn't do it. And it came down to a couple of plays. That's it. And that is so frustrating. And for Fields to play that well and lose, it's like, did we waste it? Is that the best we're going to see from him? Is this what he is now going forward? I mean, I hope. I don't know. I know he had a great chance to win today, and the Jet defense, which is supposed to be the strength, allowed a team that didn't play any of their starters on offense in the preseason to come into your building and score 34 points. Unacceptable. Brutal. If you're watching live, thank you. We are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Look, if you took my advice and bet Breece Hall over his receiving props at 19.5 receiving yards, congrats, you won. 2 catches for Breece today, 38 yards. So I made money on FanDuel. That was the only bet I made on the Jets and the Steelers game. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. What we're going to do right now is we're going to go and listen in to Aaron Glenn's presser. I want to hear from the coach. Then we'll get to plenty of your calls, get to your super chats as well. First post-game show of the year, and it couldn't be a victorious one. It just couldn't be. Only the Jets in a game everyone said was going to be low scoring, ugly, lowest point total on the board. They score 32 points and don't win. Brutal. Let's go to Aaron Glenn. Let's hear what he said after this game.
Exciting game, but I'm not into more victories. This was a game that, man, it was back and forth, a lot of fighting. I thought offensively we did not a lot of good things offensively that we can build on. The one thing to me that had to turn this game is, man, we can't have turnovers. We can't do it. We have to be a more disciplined team, right? There were some penalties that happened in that game that was true discipline issues. And again, that's something that will be addressed because you will not be on the field with this team if you're going to cause us to lose games. You're going to cause issues like that. So we will get that addressed, and we got to continue to work. The one thing I told our guys, listen, we got Buffalo coming here next week. Damn good team. We all know that. The only thing we can do is get back to work next week. And again, the things that I saw that was positive, man, we're going to build on those things. And I love what I saw on a lot of different areas. But there are some things we definitely got to fix, and we will get those things fixed going into the next week.
Specifically with the penalties, Aaron, that's something you've harped a lot all throughout camp.
Absolutely.
I know you're fine with the competitive ones, or fine nerve with the competitive ones, but to see the Quincy roughing call,
Well, just like I said, I mean, those things got to be fixed. You can't be on the field with us. That's just what it is.
Just curious, your thoughts about the defense and how they played.
Gave up too many points. Can't do that.
Specifically, the secondary, it looked like Sauce was on DK, obviously, in the whole game. But the rest of the guys, it looked like there might have been some coverage breakdowns, especially on the first touchdown with the slot receiver.
Well, it's hard for me to say that until I really look at the tape. I mean, it just goes back to defense. Like, you just can't give up that many points. That's just what it is.
Thoughts about Justin Fields today, whose debut?
I thought he did an outstanding job. Outstanding. Again, I want to go back and look at the tape and really dissect everything. But just from the naked eye, I thought he did a really good job.
Was there any thought to calling the timeout after the first completion there on your lone timeout there on the first completion?
Not on the first one. I want to make sure I hold my timeout in that situation. And obviously, if we would have got that completion, then on the next completion, I was thinking about calling on that time.
What about The first 2-point conversion after the penalty. Can you just walk us through your thought process?
Well, that was a penalty, right? And man, we get on the ball at the 1, man, I'm trying to go for 2. I mean, I have total confidence in our O-line and our running backs. And they did a good job.
Did Rodgers show you anything that you hadn't seen before? Like, how would you assess his performance?
I mean, he's a good passer. I mean, we all know that. So that's nothing new.
Your offensive line that was a pretty big blow with ABT.
Yep.
I want to say 1 or 2 sacks today. Brees was at one point over 100 yards as a team on the ground. Can you just talk about your offense?
There's really nothing to talk about. I've been saying that from the longest. We have depth there. So we have total confidence in anybody that comes in our O-line.
How do you think Brees Hall performed?
Speaks for itself. You guys know that. I mean, he went over 100 yards. How many yards did he average? How many a carry? Next question.
Lining up from 60 there.
Say it again.
When Boswell was lining up for the 60-yarder,
Yep.
what did you think? I mean, I think it was a career high for you.
Listen, he is. I think it was too. I mean, we had that number at around 40, where we knew that he was damn near automatic. But when it was, I think it was 60. We're at the 40 where we knew he was automatic, and then when it was like maybe 4 yards, I'm like, man, we got to see if he can make this one. And hey, listen, give him more credit. He nailed it.
Have those new the kicking ball rules that the NFL has implemented, has that had to adjust the way that you approach where you're looking at that line where say you thought Asman was good from 40?
Yeah, that's been his history, and we do have to look at that, so, but give him credit, guys. I mean, he kicked what it was 62, 63, 60 yards. I mean, it's pretty damn good for him. I think that's his longest kick, so guys, he did a good job making that kick.
How much can this team learn from being in such a tight game and look the way it went at the end? And
We have no choice but to learn. Because of the way that we play and the way that we want to operate, there's a chance that we're going to be in a lot of those games. And plus, we know this league comes down to that anyway. So to be able to make plays in games like this here, it's going to be critical for us. But I will say this. There's going to be no confidence loss from these guys. I mean, these guys have been busting their butts for a long time. And again, there's no such thing as more victories in my eyes. All right. But there's some things that we can definitely build on both sides of the ball, even though there's some things we got to fix on defense, but there's some things we can build on.
Couple more. Did you say anything to Garrett after that final play of the game? Where, I mean,
What should I say to him?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to just you.
He did a really good job today. And listen, he got hit once he caught the ball, and that's how it goes.
In terms of the
you mentioned turnovers. Ultimately, do you think that was what was the difference today?
Well, there's a number of things that happened, but that was like a 14-point swing, if I'm correct. I think they scored, they got the turnover, and then they scored again. So, gosh, that like you can't just let that happen, to any team. I don't care who it is. And like turnovers, they lose you games. Discipline issues, they lose you games. And those are some things that we're going to fix.
with Justin with Fields in terms of the run pass, he showed a little bit of everything today.
Yeah.
Is that kind of a glimpse of what you see him becoming?
We're going to be whatever we have to be to win the game. So if it goes into that, it is what it is. It might be times we have to throw it, more than 22 times. There's sometimes we might have to run it, 40 times. Whatever it calls for us to win games, that's what we're going to be.
Thanks, everyone. Room's open.
Okay.
Justin will be in here.
We're going to take Justin Fields' presser live in a couple minutes as well. But you heard from Aaron Glenn. I mean, he highlighted the one turnover by Xavier Gibson. That was the difference in the game. And the Jets had 2 chances to intercept Rodgers today. They didn't do it.
They kind of keep each other in the.
Hold on. Justin Fields, I'm not ready for you, buddy, even though you played your ass off today. The fact of the matter is this. The Jets did a lot of good today. But there's no moral victories. All right? And I'm glad Glenn said that. There's positives. This is not the show for the positives. You got to win games. You have to win games when you have that good of a performance by your quarterback. When Brees plays the way he did, over 100 yards rushing for Brees, another 38 as a receiver. I mean, when your running back gives you that type of performance, you got to win. When your quarterback is that efficient, like Fields was, he made so many good plays, man. And Fields was impressive throwing. Anyone who says Justin Fields can't throw, well, you know what? He proved today he can. Some of these throws he made were on point. They were darts. The precision, the timing was really good. He did a lot of really good things today, and it's wasted because they didn't win. And that's what kills you, man. The missed PAT leading to going for 2, chasing points too early, I thought. Once again, second half, late in the game, you don't get the other 2-point conversion. It's tough. You can't have that roughing call on Quincy. That was a bad penalty. Penalties was not the biggest issue today. It was really a couple plays with the Gibson fumble, Stevens just not being able to stay on his feet and make a play on the ball. Tough, really tough loss. There were so many good things from this game, and so many players individually I thought played well, and it's just still a loss at the end of the day. It is it is incredibly frustrating. It really is. Your calls coming up, plus your super chats. We played you, Aaron Glenn. Let's go live and hear Justin Fields after his first start as the Jets starting quarterback.
And, kind of keeping each other in the fight. If that one turnover, they scored. Offense, we came back and didn't let that phase us. So, like I said, a lot of fight from our team. And, I don't think a lot of people expected us to come out like that. But like I said, like you said, no moral victories. At the end of the day, we lost. We got to get better. And that's what we're going to do this week. So.
What happened on the play near the Steelers sideline where you were drawing up it a little bit? The one where Simpson came in, kind of.
Yeah. Jalen just threw the ball away. Jalen hit me. If I'm being honest, I was kind of joking with the coach. There's a coach over there, Coach Denzel. We talked a lot of trash to each other last year throughout practice, and he was talking a little bit, so I had to just chirp a little bit back at him, but it wasn't anything crazy. But of course, Simp saw that, he didn't like it, and he hit Jalen late. We got the flag, but of course you don't want that. But at the same time, it's just my O-line sticking up for me, so you got to love that as a quarterback. But it's kind of a double-edged sword in terms of we don't want a penalty on that play. So yeah.
Justin, what did you mean when you said a lot of people probably didn't expect us to come out like that? In what way?
I'm just calling it what it is. They acquired all these guys in the offseason, future Hall of Famers on that side of the ball, and we put up 32. And there were still plays that were left out there. So, like I said, all we got to do is keep building, keep getting better, and we'll be good.
Just in a game like this, there's 7 lead changes. You're just going blow for blow. What's the most frustrating part? You just said you put up 32. What's the most frustrating part of a loss like this?
I think the most frustrating part is the loss. But within a game, all the lead changes, you got to expect it. Like my mind, it's like I'm kind of expecting them to score. So it's like, if they score or not, I'm ready to go. And, that's the mindset that I pretty much had all game. It's football at the end of the day. You're going to take punches, you're going to punch. And that's just how this game is, especially when 2 good teams go at it. So you can't let any of that phase you, and you just got to keep, going out there and driving the ball down the field.
Can you talk about the connection you and Garrett had specifically on the long touchdown?
Yeah, it's Garrett. Like we always talk about. It's nothing. Nothing complicated. It's simple. He had man on that play, and he won, just like Garrett does. And O-line did a great job holding up, and just threw it to him. So, like I said, it's simple at the end of the day.
Couple more. How did it feel on that bootleg to look up and see nobody?
Good. We actually didn't even have that play in this week, but Tanner was like, just keep it right here, and kept it, and nobody was there. And yeah, I felt like I could have just walked in there, but yeah, felt good for sure.
Do you think that the offense as a whole, there was some criticism in the preseason, they're not throwing the ball downfield. Do you think maybe with the 32 points and the way you guys moved the ball up and down the field, maybe silence some critics today?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we're not worried about critics. We know there's always going to be other people's opinions. Like I said, we're not worried about anybody outside of the building. We're not worried about none of that, nothing what they're talking about. Everything that we care about is inside the building, within the coaches, staff, and my teammates. So, like I said, preseason was preseason. I get it. It's the only games that are on, and of course, people need something to talk about. But like I said, all we care about is what we got going on in the building.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, that's Justin Fields. So we heard from both Glenn. We heard from Fields. Interesting nugget from Fields that Engstrand didn't even have the quarterback bootleg that they ran beautifully for the score on the 4th and goal. And he just said, go do it. I mean, that reminded me of, Mark Sanchez against the Steelers in that regular season win in 2010. But it's a tough loss. I thought Fields was awesome. I mean, he played way better than any of us could have anticipated. It wasn't just with his legs. He was decisive. He made some great throws. Angstrom, I thought, called a heck of a game. If you want to be positive, that is certainly something, because guys need to be schemed open. Guys need to be able to be put in the best spots to maximize the talent they do have. And I thought we had that, but it's just so disappointing to lose that game, man, especially after once the fumble happened and then Rodgers throws the touchdown 2 plays later. You're thinking, here we go. Here's the Jet meltdown. But the Jets then responded with a 12-play drive and scored. And then to still lose after that. Incredibly frustrating. I want to thank the audience, everyone who's tuned in. We got over 1,500 in here right now. Please click the like button if you haven't. Tuesday will be our weekly raffle. I'm giving away on the show a signed Joe Namath jersey, signed Weave Eubank helmet, signed Sauce Gardner jersey, and a signed Kevin Mawai jersey. If you want to enter our raffle, send in a super chat, $10 or higher to get 2 raffle tickets. And then guess what? If you gift the membership, for every membership you gift to our community, we enter you in the raffle. So shout out to David Atkins for being the first person to gift a channel membership. He gifted 5 of them.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Welcome to the Jets, Aaron Glenn. Adversity strikes. How will this team handle it with Buffalo coming to town next week, trying to avoid an 0-2 start? Some super chats here. Fire Aaron Glenn says, fire Aaron Glenn. Well, I will tell you what, that is not happening. So see ya.
You get the fuck out.
Swap Ranger says, same old Jets, no moral victories in football, only wins and losses. Prepare for maximum pain. Oh, there's always pain. I mean, it's just varying degrees of it when you're a Jet fan. J-Mag says, losing DJ Reed was a gigantic mistake, and Fields, who runs, misses the opportunity to get a first down and call a timeout. SOJ ... Kinda. Yes and no, J-Mags. DJ Reed was not good last year. Can we acknowledge that? He was good his first 2 years. He quit on the team, though, last year. All right, I like DJ Reed overall. He was a good player, but that to me is not the biggest issue. Stevens wasn't good today, but I don't know if DJ Reed would have made a huge difference, to be fair. And look, it's tough to get on Fields. Could he have ran for that first down on the last play with the Ramsey hit on Garrett? I thought so, but you know what? They scored 32 points and lost. 32 points. This defense is supposed to be the strength of the team. They have a defensive head coach, even though he doesn't want to be labeled as that. Their defensive coordinator is as experienced as anyone. They shouldn't lose to a team whose quarterback and starters didn't play at all in the preseason. Mike Perez says, we're the only team that can't get a takeaway. We scored 32 points, ran the ball, and still lost. This one hurts. Oh, it's brutal. Amen. J-Mall joins our raffle for 2. I wasn't convinced last year's team was an actual contender, so this is the worst I have felt after a Jets game since Rodgers tore the Achilles. That, to me, is ass backwards thinking. I don't understand how you weren't more devastated last year when going into the year they had won 7 in 2023 without Rodgers. So this doesn't hurt nearly as much as some of the losses last year did. Like that Denver loss. I was in London for the Viking loss. I mean, this hurts. I don't want to get I don't want to minimize it. I'm in great pain right now. My voice is shot. I mean, I was screaming. I already broke a glass case of something before. Like my apartment's a mess right now. I'm disgusted, but it's not that bad. Boblinick says, got to get rid of Gibson. I mean, he shouldn't be on the team. And yes, catch a damn interception. The ball hits you in your goddamn hands. Catch the ball. Those are the plays that define if you're going to win or lose or not. That's it. Joe Baxter, am I too quick to want to replace? No, you're not too quick to want to replace either. Look, Stevens had a great training camp, so it's so disappointing for him to not play well today. Spencer says, enough with Gibson. Brandon Stevens dropped the pick that Beast could have caught to end the game. Yeah, fair. Larry Romano, loved your show this morning. Tough loss. We could build off of this. Go Jets. I appreciate that, Larry. Good first show with Mike Tannenbaum and I. You picked the Jets. I picked the Steelers. And the game went a completely different way than either of us could have imagined. But big thanks to everyone who listened. I'll be on with Mike every Sunday, ESPN New York Game Day, me and Tannenbaum, 880 ESPN New York. Download the ESPN New York app if you can't listen on the radio. Jet Life writes in, Stevens ain't it, Jake. He was getting bullied and Gibson threw the game away for us. Yeah, I mean, there's no way to minimize that mistake. Completely changed the game. The turnover battle was the difference. The Jets had 1 turnover. The Steelers had 0. Good teams don't beat themselves. You want to know how Mike Tomlin, without great quarterback play, has a winning record every year? Because his teams are smart. Hopefully Glenn could get there. But that play by Gibson was so preventable. He shouldn't be out there. We all see it. They don't. I don't get it. Gotham says, even though they lost, I liked what I saw. I mean, look, there were a lot of positives. We can't pretend like there weren't, but it's a loss. I'm not feeling good about this. They play the Buffalo Bills next week. Then they play the Bucs. Doesn't get easier. This was winnable. Quarterback played great and you still didn't win. How often have we said, if only they got the quarterback play? They got more than that. They got exceptional quarterback play. Fields was awesome today. Awesome. Composed, accurate, made plays with his, just sheer athletic talent when he did go out there and run. To lose that sucks. WD, offense was decent but struggled on the 2 to 3 yard plays. Defense isn't as good as we think it is. Safeties are a liability. Brees looks great. JETS. I would like to see Malachi Moore start playing. I've seen enough of Tony Adams. He had a brutal missed tackle in that first half that led to a Steeler touchdown. Big fella, speaking of the devil, start Malachi Moore over Adams. Cut Gibson, elevate Pritchett, let Smith return kicks. Field should have run on the final play, but he looked great. Fair, but I'm not making this about Justin Fields today. Well, I'm sure there'll be other opportunities to criticize a Jet quarterback this year. Today, I'm not going to do that with Justin Fields. He played far better than anyone could have imagined. Tyrone Garcia, I hate chasing points so early, and the calls for 2 points were terrible. I hope the trade Brees Hall conversation stops. He was amazing. Pay him. He looks good and fast. Look, if Brees is healthy, he's dynamic. I've said this. They're using him, I think, properly, too. Love how they used him with some of the zone outside runs. They used him as a receiver a couple times. I'm encouraged. Cashmere says, what do you think of the offensive line? I thought they held up. They obviously did a great job. I mean, they had 400 yards of offense. They had almost 200 yards rushing. The O-line played well. Now, I'm going to have to rewatch the game like I always do, and I'll, hone in on how Myers looked at center. But, I mean, there were some moments, right? Olu got beat by Hightower on one of the plays. That happens. Membu had a couple plays, I'm sure, against TJ Watt he'd want back. But, you know what? They scored 32 points. This is not about the offense. This is about the critical turnover by Xavier Gibson, the defense not making plays, 2 chances to intercept Rodgers, and they dropped it. That's what this game is about more than anything else. PVM, typical SOJ loss. This is what I feared. Season's over. Calm down, Mike. Calm down. Season is not over. All right? It's a brutal loss, but I'm not doing – there's 16 more games. Don't watch. You're going to be on your ass. You might even be going to the game. I don't know. But we're not doing seasons over. Great game. We left a lot in the field, a lot to clean up, stop the penalties, but many positives. Yeah, I'm tired of the positives. I want to win. Win games. Marcelo, this is not the same old Jets. I hope. When they scored after Rodgers threw the touchdown to put them up, and they scored 2 touchdowns in 50 seconds, and the Jets then went down the field and had a 12-play drive. That, to me, was the first, this is not the same old Jet moment. But it ended up not mattering. The fact that they scored on a 12-play, 67-yard drive, and they went up 32-31. They don't get the 2-point conversion, obviously. Then the defense forces a 3-and-out. You get the ball back, a chance to put it away. You don't. That hurts. But you can't blame the offense. Today, the defense needs to be better. And if Boswell misses a 60-yarder, this is one of the great Jet wins in recent memory with how well the offense played. That's why this hurts so much. He did so many good things. To not still win the game is brutal. Derek, thanks for the super chat. Jetstream, I'll put you in the raffle for 1. Thanks for becoming a channel member. Anthony Logerato joins the raffle for 5. Appreciate you. What did we hear all preseason? Gibson made all the catches in practice. Well, he fumbled once again. He sucks. He shouldn't be playing for this team. I'm so distraught right now. You know, the thing with Gibson is it wasn't a fumble on a punt where he just muffed it, right? Like, he got hold on the ball. He had the ball in the wrong hand. That's such a coachable thing that he should know. It's brutal. Daniel says defense and special teams lost us the game. They did. Oh, no. This is not. Look, as great as Fields was today, I'd imagine he's not always going to play like that. So there'll be times I'm sure to criticize the Jet quarterback. Today's not the day. Honestly, I didn't love the 2-point conversion play calls, but Engstrand did a hell of a job today. This is such a unique loss because it's not same old from what we normally are upset about. That's what makes it brutal. Kyle says, not only did they drop 2 potential picks, they forced 2 fumbles, didn't recover either of them. So that's 4 turnovers left on the field. Fumbles are kind of fluky, Kyle. I see your point. And yes, the Jets need to do a much better job at falling on fumbles when there's opportunities to do so. But the problem today was the 2 dropped interceptions. B. Ramos, fan since 89, not upset at all. Team played crazy hard. First time head coach and new staff. We have not looked this good in years. Didn't get rolled. I don't know, man. I think this is like selective memory. What happened in 2018 when they steamrolled the Lions? You know? That happened. You know, they did respond to losing Aaron Rodgers opening night 2 years ago and actually won the damn game. Remember that? I don't know. If you're going to tell yourself this and that helps you sleep tonight, God bless. I wanted to win this game, man. I don't think there's enough positives that's going to make me feel good. You said you're not upset at all. I'm furious. Tyrone says, I'm excited about the offense. You should be. FIFO, we could score points but can't make a defensive stop in the fourth. Yeah, I mean, they allowed 17 points in the fourth quarter. It's unacceptable. AZ Frankie, I don't even know. I'm so done with Gibson. Yeah, he shouldn't be on the team. All right. It's not a second guess either. Saying it since, I don't know, June. Bo, super chat. Thank you, Bo. There were some positives to take away. Ultimately, I don't give a bleep. Wins are the only thing that matters, period. We will get better. Hopefully, we showed ourselves the potential. Be better. Yeah, be better. Welcome to Buffalo Bills to MetLife next week. Win that game, right? Go win that game. Hey, shout out to Bo. He gives 10. He's in the Asmaniac raffle now for a 10. Shout out to Bo. Bo knows, baby.
Bo knows football. Bo knows baseball. Bo knows tennis. Bo knows basketball, too.
Bo knows channel memberships.
BP York, the Jets haven't scored more than 30 points since 2022. I wanted the win, but I'm happy with today's game. Look out, Bills. Once again, I don't know how the people are this positive. That can't be me. Look out, Bills. They're going to be able to replicate this exact performance next week. That's typically not how this works. Because now there's a lot of film on Fields in this offense. So how do the Jets now adapt? How do they adjust? See, that's the thing. The Jets had the element of surprise. They didn't know what play calls were coming. They showed nothing in the preseason. And we saw that. There were way more complex schemes and design runs were around Fields and pass patterns that we didn't see. Look, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just telling you how I feel. I'm pissed. I am demoralized by this loss. I don't care if they look good on offense. They lost. They beat the Bills next week. Then I'll say, you know what? They really did show us something week 1, and now they figured it out for week 2. But let's see it. If they don't cut Gibson, it will reflect badly on the new regime. I don't know if they're going to cut him. I mean, how about Alan Lazard being a healthy and active? Do they cut him now? I think they were just holding on to him to get through this game so he couldn't be an informant for Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Jet Life says, Jake, get me in for 2. I'm still waiting for my JJ jersey. It will be there, Jet Life, and I got you down for 2. Joel says, the last play, 40 seconds left. Fields shouldn't have thrown the check down, but he hit Brees on the flat, and if he makes someone miss, hindsight's 20/20. Look, anyone killing Fields, I get it. That last play, he could have probably ran it himself, but you know what? They scored 32 points. They scored 32 points and lost. I'm not making this about Justin Fields today. He was very good. If Boswell's kick misses, Justin Fields is getting a statue built outside MetLife by Jet fans already. That's how good he was for a lot of this game. So let's, the same exact thing happened today, but Boswell's kick misses instead of going through the uprights. It's a completely different conversation we're having. And that's life. And it's funny, Rodgers couldn't get a break from the Jets kickers last year. Zerline was horrific. Could have bailed them out of so many issues last year. Goes to the Steelers. Boswell, career 60 yards. Of course. Of course. By the way, Aaron Rodgers can still play. All right? You saw that. Hopefully Fields could be as good as he was today, because then it won't be about, oh, how could you move on from – it will be, we got our guy. You know, I don't care that Brett Favre went to the Vikings and had one of his best seasons after he left the Jets. I didn't care. The Jets were in the AFC Championship game that year. Win games. It's all about winning games. That's it. Harry says, Fields was the best Jets quarterback play I've seen in years. Yeah, as far as games that matter, right? Yeah, he was excellent today. BK, nothing but nets. This is Gary, says it's quite extraordinary. I don't know what the hell this means. Mr. Bonesy says it didn't feel like same old Jets, but it still ended up being same old Jets. Too many positives to take an L. Really gave this one away. 0-2 can't happen. If you want this game to mean something, they have to win next week. It's not going to be easy. You're playing the Bills, but you know what? You're at home. Show us something. No one's going to pick you. You're going to have no chance. Most people didn't pick the Jets today anyway, by the way, other than Jet fans. Show us something. Offense looked good. Our corners and Gibson killed us. Plenty good in the game. JATS. I appreciate the super chat. Positivity. Chris says Gibson has to go. Snipe checks in. First time, long time. We got to get good quarterback play. Still cannot win. I think it's time to let Malachi get reps. I would love to see Malachi Moore start next week. I don't know how quick they're going to be to pull the plug on Tony Adams. Just like I don't think they're going to be quick to pull the plug on Brandon Stevens because they paid him a lot. I don't think it's going to be AZ Thomas time next week. These guys just have to be better. Like, that's what I'm so disgusted with the defensive performance today. I expected so much. Rodgers cannot move. How do you let them score 32 points or 34 points? You know, McDonald had 2 sacks today. I thought Jermaine made plays. I was repping the 11 jersey today. I've been waiting a year to wear this. I literally got this jersey arrived the day of the Titans game last year when Jermaine got hurt. I haven't worn it. Literally, I waited a year to wear this jersey. And, like, he made plays today, and they just still couldn't win, man. Spencer Green. I think we need to take a step back and breathe. This game was winnable, but this team looks like they could be in every game. The fact we're this upset tells me we know we have the right people. I've been upset after every game, and I knew the Jets didn't have the right people. So I don't know if it's that. I think we're all pissed because they blew a golden opportunity to start 1-0 and not have to hear all week about Rodgers sticking it to the Jets. And that's really not what happened today. The Jets beat the Jets. How many coverage breakdowns did they have? This wasn't Rodgers throwing deep, and here's DK Metcalf. By the way, how lucky is Metcalf on that play that bounced around between 4 players and somehow landed in his lap? You can't make it up. Craig and blind loyalty to Gibson cost him the game. Fields look good, something to build on. Still looking like a 1-4 start. I think that's how most people probably feel. Does Gibson get benched? Probably not. Gaming with Maddie. I said years ago, Gibson's a disaster waiting to happen. I'm glad Rodgers got the stick it to us. We should have brought him back. This wasn't about Rodgers today. Also, you're glad that Aaron Rodgers beat the Jets. You're not a real Jet fan. Get the fuck, excuse my language, out of this show.
You get the fuck out.
I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. I will root for him now that he's not playing the Jets anymore. But if you are happy that he played well and his team won over the Jets, you are not a real Jet fan. And please,
you get the fuck out.
Do not watch my show anymore. Brian Hilario, there's no way Michael Carter plays this bad for the rest of the season. Please, for the love of God. It was shocking how bad he was in the first half. I don't think he was nearly as big of a liability in the second half. I'll rewatch the game at some point here. That was terrible. Willie Vision says, appreciate all the super chats. We will get to your calls coming up. All Pitt's big plays were on 21. A-Rod found a toy and never put it down. And the Steelers knew that because they went up against him when he was with the Ravens. Brutal. Mark says, tough game next week. Pressure's on. 0-2 would feel awful. I mean, you start 0-2, then your season's on the line in Tampa week 3. You can't go 0-3. You could get out of an 0-2 hole, but the next 2 are on the road. So you're like, what, 1-3 at best? I mean, Miami did look terrible today for what it's worth. At least New England lost as well. But I don't want to think about that. Go Ravens tonight. Do we want the Bills to win? So maybe they overlook the Jets next week. I don't know. Does it matter? I think we maybe pay too much attention to this stuff. I don't know. My brain is scrambled, right? I can't believe they lost this game. How? Oh. Ace Tag says 3 big keys to this game. The fumble, chasing points early on those 2-point calls, bad defense, especially third down, honorable mention, dropped INTs. INTs should be further up. This game came down to 1 turnover ultimately, and the Jets had 2 golden opportunities to pick off Rodgers. They didn't do it. I love and you're right. Oh, why are we positive, simple, low expectations still proven otherwise? Can we expect a little more from our football team? There's talent on this team. The question was quarterback. They answered the quarterback question today. Fields was great. This talent that we've hyped up and we believed in on defense stunk. Like, let's hold this team to a higher standard. They have a lot of good players. You saw that. The biggest question was quarterback and the coach and the play caller, specifically Angstrom. They were great today. So the people being positive, oh, your expectations were that low? Have higher expectations, man. Daniel Jones a couple years ago accidentally went 9-7-1. This team hasn't won more than 7 games in 10 years. You had a chance today. So I can't be that positive. They've got to win games. Green Gang says the O-line missed some blocks, but this is not totally on the offense. Stevens, I don't know why he couldn't stay on his damn feet. Being out of position, I'm sick. Brutal. I've used that word a lot. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, it was just there were golden opportunities to flip this game. Hey, shout out to Janice Jett, one of the most supportive people in our community. She just entered the raffle and also made 10 people channel members. Really, let's be real. The amount of Jet content creators that were at this game today, man, I wasn't there. I can't be blamed. I got off radio too late, but many are saying Green Bean, O'Leary, Ryan, they're the reason why the Jets lost. You know, that's what I heard. You know, this is not me saying it. That's what people are saying. So keep that in mind as well. Gator says, could be worse. Could be a Dolphins fan today. I mean, Mike McDaniel's going to get fired if that continues. Good Lord. Daniel Jones carves you up? Terrible. I can't even enjoy their misery, though. You know? Like, I guess it's better than them winning, but J-Quest, we're playing for first place next week. They were playing for first place next week against the hold on. Remember, so last year, I remember they lost that brutal game to the Vikings in London. I'm sitting there doing the post-game show. They're playing for first place next week because remember the Bills lost, I think, to Houston that day. Then we know how that went. Maybe it's a different outcome this time. King Lowski in the house. I'm about to unleash on this effing team. I'm so pissed. Defense looks trash, and we still do stupid bleep at the most critical times. All fair. All fair, man. Individually, I thought the defense had moments, man. Like Quinnen had a good game. I don't know why he's not out there. How does no one ask Aaron Glenn after the game why Quinnen's not out there on that Steelers' last touchdown drive? I mean, come on, man. Peter Storrs says, I'm with you, Jake. Defense blew it for us. Everyone said it was going to be Fields struggling. I don't understand. Where is this defense? I know we have. I had a terrible game. They had a terrible game. They had a bunch of coverage breakdowns. They had 2 opportunities. And, you know, they could have so easily changed the narrative on the quote-unquote bad game they were having. Stevens, catch the ball. Michael Carter, catch the ball. Someone fall on a fumble. Mike writes in, when do they get rid of Stevens for AZ? They bullied him all game. Not yet, but another game like that. And guess what? That's coming. Just for fun. Jets are going to lose a lot of close games. It's going to be a long season. This franchise always finds a way to lose. Zach Wilson could have had 4 touchdowns versus defense. Let's not go crazy. All right. Zach Wilson stinks. But a lot of quarterbacks would have had success against the Jets defense today because it wasn't Aaron Rodgers just throwing downfield with superhuman throws. He had a couple really nice throws, right? He couldn't move, though. They had all these coverage breakdowns, man. Guys are wide open. You know, they're in zone, they're passing off a defender to someone who's supposed to be there, and then nobody's there. Phil M. Green Bean should try crawling next time. I guess him walking backwards into the stadium didn't work, huh? Brutal. I feel for those guys, man. At least, it's funny. It's a cruel twist of fate. So Green Bean came on the show this week, and he's like, I haven't seen a Jets offensive touchdown in person since, what did he say, 2018? So today, he sees all these touchdowns, and the one constant for the Jets has been their great defense for the most part, and they completely collapsed today. You can't make it up. Andres says, why did we get rid of DJ? Stevens is terrible. DJ Reed was bad last year, too. And he was going to be 30 years old. You're not going to pay him a third contract. Now, that doesn't justify spending big on Stevens. And you did use a third-round pick on A.Z. Thomas. So if they think A.Z. Thomas is ready, get ready to go in and play. Dark Knight Steve says, heartbreaking, but let's not burn the ships just yet. Still lots of game to be played. Great show this AM with Mike T. Lots to build on. T will be better. Thank you, Steve. I hope you're right. I'm not burning the ships yet, but this is a tough loss. Can we acknowledge that? Who knows if they're going to be in position to have a chance to win this type of game next week? They're not good enough to let these games slip away. How often are the Jets going to score 32 points? I was texting with my uncle about this. You want to bet the Jets probably don't score 30-plus points again? Like, you would find odds on that, and people would be like, yeah, I probably would take that bet. Like, they're not going to do this too many times. And to do it and not win, that's what hurts. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're, Justin Fields is going to, run the greatest show on turf now for the Jets. I hope so. But that's why I'm so agitated, man. Gaming with Maddie tries to justify being happy that Rodgers got his revenge. I mean, you're not a Jet fan if you're happy that Aaron Rodgers, who's playing for the opponent, came back and his team beat the team you're supposed to be a fan of. Stop it. Malcolm Flex says, I think this team can really run the division, though. Malcolm, come on. The Buffalo Bills, until proven otherwise, are the dominant team of the division. You want to change? I'll tell you what. Jets beat the Bills next week. We could have the conversation. I hope we get to do it. But we don't. By the way, I did everything in my power to help the Jets win today. So I'm in the ESPN New York Survivor pool. I picked Pittsburgh. I was out in week 1 last year. I picked the Bengals. I'm like, let me do the Steelers this year. Hopefully I go 2 for 2. But nope, didn't work. I tried. Kevin says, can you give a he stinks for Gibson? He stinks. The guy is terrible. He can't play. Shouldn't be playing. Thunderlips, thank you for the big time super chat. You're the man.
Hello. You play to win the game.
This is 10 raffle entries for Thunderlips with a $50 super chat. He says Cam wanted to stay home from baseball practice to watch the home opener. Thought it was a good father-son moment. He says it will be so cool when the Jets make the playoffs. Joke's on him. Wash my mouth out with a revolver. Oh, Cam is Thunderlips' son. Brutal. Brutal. Love you, Thunderlips. Sorry your son is in this life of being a Jet fan. Terry T, good run offense, great run defense. It was the breakdowns in coverage. Sniped, other than Malachi, who are you moving around? I mean, can A.Z. Thomas play? Does Stevens need to be out there? I mean, Mark says, same old Jets. Keep the sure-handed veteran around to fumble kickoffs. I mean, who could have saw that coming, huh? And you knew once they missed that first extra point and then they go for 2 and don't get it, it was going to come back to hurt them. It always does. These things always have a way of rearing its ugly head. Cheese Man, pissed off, but looked a lot better than I thought they would. Stevens and Gibson cost us this one, but I'm happy with almost everything else but the L. I can't be happy if there's an L. I can't do it. Some of you being able to do it, I'm impressed with. I am distraught. Mr. Weed, this loss hurt for sure, but watching TD Finstock crying about 2 on the stream is making me feel better. You know what I would like? To be able to enjoy our team winning and not have to just try and celebrate other teams for also being bad. You know? I don't have it in me to be all excited that Miami also lost or New England also lost. The Jets could have won today. Third man, Quincy penalty, a killer, awful play. I forget when in the game that happened, but yeah, it was a huge play. I just don't remember where. Oh, this could be a painful rewatch later. Not looking forward to it. Edward says, too many blown coverages by the Jets offense. Yep, I agree. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I mean, what else can you say? Hit the like button if you're watching live right now. I appreciate everyone who's tuned into our first post-game show of the year. If you guys don't mind, I am trying to get to 42,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is incredible. And you know what? I don't even need to ask. We're already at over 42. Thank you. We added 40 subs in this one show. So thank you to all the Jet fans. If you're new around here, I talk Jets 365 days a year, 2 hours a day, twice a day. So that's 4 hours of Jets content. You're getting Monday through Friday. Shows at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern. We have a podcast available on Apple and Spotify if you can't listen live. So big thanks to the Asmaniacs out there for helping us hit 42,000 subscribers officially here on this first post-game show. A lot of you are on hold, so we're going to get to your calls. Let me talk about a new sponsor that is with us for today's post-game, and that is SRN, Sports and Recreation Network. Let me tell you all about them because this is pretty cool. If you're in the Long Island area especially, listen up because SRN, the Sports and Rec Network, where community, competition, and media come together, they're interested in you. From youth clinics to travel teams, SRN is building the future of ball hockey right here at home. Here's your chance to be part of it. The SRN men's travel team, the Stallions, they're holding open tryouts October 11th from 8 to 10 a.m. at All Sports in Melville. Compete in national tournaments, play in National Ball Hockey League, and get featured on the SRN live stream and podcast. It's essentially the ultimate rec league if you're a hockey player out there. That's the best way I can describe it. So be part of the SRN men's travel ball hockey team. Check it out. All the information is in the description, but you can see the website link on the screen there. sportsrec.net. Once again, join the movement, clinics, media coverage, open tryouts, men's travel team for the SRN Stallions, October 11th in Melville. All the details are available. So pretty cool. I know a lot of my listeners are based on Long Island. People are always looking for fun things to do. And this is not just your typical rec league. This is legit. They got media coverage, live streams. You basically feel like a pro while playing in a rec hockey league. So check it out. SRN. All the info is in the description. All right. Promise you guys calls. Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is where we're headed. Then we'll get back to the Super Chats. Let me say first up today to Ken from San Diego. What's up, Ken?
How's it going, Jake? Hey, I remember when it was 5,000 users and you were saying, hey, I need my 5,000 user. So congratulations on 42.
You've been around a long time, Ken. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey, you know,
not much has changed, unfortunately. Our team still can't win football games.
No, I do the same type of texting with my kids as you do if you're uncle, I guess. But, you know, a lot of this is about first-time coach versus the longest coach in tenure in football right now. I mean, that's the way I look at what happened today. I'm hopeful, but we still had timeouts wasted. We still had stupid penalties. That Quincy penalty was on a first when we put him for a loss, and he hit a guy out of bounds, an extra 15 yards. They scored a touchdown. Also, everybody's on Brandon Stevens. Absolutely not a great first game, but boy, there was a lot of mistakes in coverage today. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was thrown to wide open. We watched Aaron Rodgers last year. He didn't have a lot of throws to wide open people, no one near him. So a lot of that has to do with, you know, the coaching, some mistakes early on mistakes. Also, from a blocking standpoint, I think we did a good job. Our guys don't seem to hold the blocks long enough, something that will get better. I mean, on the positives, I mean, we did basically have 394 yards today, Jake, which is just a tremendous number. And we, you know, outside of the kicking, you know, we scored over 30 points and none of those off of defensive turnovers. So the run was good. The aggression was good. I thought the play calling on offense was good, except for in the 2-point area. I agree with you. I mean, you have a dynamic player. You can't throw a fade with 3 guys on Garrett Wilson. I mean, that just was a mistake. Fields was excellent. Breece Hall looked really, really, really good. But, you know, the bottom line here is what you're saying here. This is a new time, and if you want to change things at the Jets, you got to get rid of the people who aren't exceptional. And I know Clemens didn't do anything wrong today, but I just was waiting for him to do a penalty. But Gibson, I mean, Ruckert, I mean, how many times are we showing him missing blocks? I mean, I know Watt is hard to block, but, I mean, just get in front of somebody for Pete's sakes. So, you know, we have to go ahead and bring in a new regime, which we did, but some of these old players that we're hanging on to, I think it's not really positive. So great show as usual.
Ken, I appreciate it. No, I'm with you. It's just very disheartening. The defense having that many coverage breakdowns. This defense has played together. It's a new system, sure. 8 of the 11 guys on this defense a year ago are back. The ones who aren't stunk. Kinlaw, Reddick. I get it. DJ Reed's not here. He sucked last year too. But Stevens today was bad. Carter being back, healthy, didn't matter. He was bad. Ugh. By the way, we're talking about survivor pools. I used the Steelers. The most popular survivor pool pick was Denver at home, and I'm seeing the Titans are up early in that one. They're just brutal. A couple super chats we'll get back to. Then more of your calls. I already don't have a voice. We're not making it through 17 games this year. This might be the season that actually kills me. We joke about it. This might actually be it. Let's see. Johnny Danks in the house. He's out in LA. He was with the LA Jets crew I saw. Yo, Jake, I'm drunk, pissed off, eating Chipotle, and listening to the stream. Love you, bro. As maniacs, let's beat the Bills next week. From your lips to God's ears. Super chat from Bo. They couldn't run on us, but our secondary is getting shredded like it was the first day of football. Fix that trash quickly. No excuses. It's astonishing how bad they were in coverage. Brendan Ryan, same old Jets. Yup, 2 points we left off the board that could have made the difference, even besides the Gibson fumble. But let's be honest, over 30 points, there's hopefully hope. Jake, love the podcast. Thank you, Brendan. Despite the loss, really appreciate your support. We got you down in the raffle now for 10 with that super chat. Thank you, my man. It's brutal, man. I just turnovers, the 2-point conversion failures, a 60-yard. Like, let's not forget, they needed to hit a 60-yard kick to win, and of course, they fucking hit it. Never get a break. They never. When was the last time a Jet opponent, right, a kicker, lined up for a game-winning kick and missed it? When was the last time that happened? Fat Randy when he was with the Titans and Zach Wilson's first win in 2021. I can't remember another time a Jet opponent, right? Someone in the chat, when was the last time someone lined up for a kick against the Jets and they actually missed it? Duncan, brutal loss. Few plays here and there killed us. Boswell, career-long field goal, no-win Meadowlands. Defensive backfield was the worst part. Terrible. Beats Custom Kicks in the house. I was rocking your kicks today at the ESPN studios, Kyle. Shout out to you, and everyone go to beatscustoms.com and get custom kicks. Hey, Jake, I'm with you on the loss, but I've never in 40 years felt better about a head coach and OC. You can't be a Jet fan and not feel good. Kyle, come back to us, dude. I love you, but come on. Rex Ryan's first game, they smashed Houston as a big underdog on the road, and then he said, I'm not kissing Belichick's rings, and they shut down the greatest coach-quarterback combination ever to 9 points in week 2. Come on, man. You've never felt better about Glenn and the OC, Angstrom, in 40 years? There's no way that could be true. You didn't feel good about Bill Parcells when they went into Seattle and destroyed the Seahawks as 7-point road underdogs, 41-3 and 97? That can't be true. I don't believe that. Cheeseman says, my sacrifice for a win versus the Bills next week. I'll tell you what, I'd love to tell all of you that if you send $50 in super chats, the Jets are automatically going to win, but I'm not going to lie to you. I can tell you, though, it does give you a chance on Tuesday to win the following prizes in our raffle. Signed Namath jersey, signed WeBank helmet, signed Gardner jersey, signed Mawai jersey. We'll raffle those 4 prizes away. First show on Tuesday, which is our Joe Beningo weekly. Joe will be with us every Monday typically, but he's got a golf outing tomorrow. So Robbie Sabo, 10 a.m. tomorrow. Will Parkinson, 4 p.m. Joe B. Bro, oh, the pain. Tuesday, 10 a.m. Jet Life in the raffle for 5. Thank you, Jet Life. Appreciate you. All right, to your calls we go. Doug on the bed is next. What's up, Doug?
Not much, Jake. Before I get into the whole point of the game, I want to shout out the Boston Jets fan club. I went to a bar with it today. They were a great time. So if you're in the Boston area, do check them out. They are a great time.
Love that. I know Houston had a great showing today. I know Tampa was popping. I mean, this fan base is amazing, and it's just – they're so close.
Yeah, they just went to a new bar than they were this past year, and I went to it today. It was a great time, very welcoming crowd. So just wanted to shout them out. I think one thing we're like you're not mentioning is like also a big thing. And Nguanu getting hurt was huge.
That's what put Gibson in the
spot.
spot.
Because like I know you get two returners, but like if Nguanu's in, he's still the primary guy, and he's a great returner, and maybe that fumble doesn't happen. But yeah, it sucks. Like it's hard to have the moral victories. I agree with all that stuff. Like there's encouraging signs, but I'm not going to say I'm happy we lost. Like it sucks. I think the Stevens drop pick was worse than the Carter one because like the Stevens one, it's like there was nobody near him. Just stay on your feet. And it's a pick, and where you would have been like in the Steelers 25, had a good chance to score, make it throw. The Steelers would have to score a touchdown. The Carter one, you would have liked him to come up, but that's a little bit of a harder play because he was diving, going to the ground. But the Stevens one is just like, what are you doing, man?
Doug, well said. It's just brutal because to score that many points and lose, and we spent all offseason talking about our concerns with Gibson, the Stevens contract. It felt like a head scratcher at the time. For like that to be the reason why they lose the first game, it's just the pain doesn't stop. That's what's so frustrating.
And it's like, again, I'm not like being like, oh, there are like you can't watch that game and say there aren't positives to take away, but that doesn't mean I'm happy about us losing. It's like I think that was Justin Fields' maybe best game ever as a pro. I don't think that's too crazy to say, or it's up there at least. Or most complete game because like some of his games when he was on the Bears, it was just him running for crazy, but I don't think he's ever had a complete game like this where he was effective passing, effective running. It was just so good. And like you see the creativity from Engstrand. So you like there are positives. And like I do believe in Glenn. Like I can't say I agree with you. Like Rex Ryan was incredible in his first two games. I'm not going to say I believe in him more than Rex Ryan right now, but I do believe in the path. I do think there was some good adjustments made. Like you can't blame Sauce for like the defensive stuff. Like we had some bad luck. I thought the refs weren't great, but I'm not going to sit here and blame the refs for why we lost. But there were some, but that's always our case. We never get the good calls or anything.
No, Rodgers got away with such a blatant intentional grounding call in the first half. That was so frustrating. It gave them a field goal out of it because they got better field position, and Boswell doesn't miss.
Exactly. And it's like in that, like I said, if Boswell doesn't drill a 60-yarder, we're talking a different story. I mean, it sucks that like that kick was never in doubt. It was like right down the middle. But like if he misses that kick, we're like, oh my God, great win. Vibes are high. It just, it's unfortunate. It's a game of inches. Like, and the one penalty that bothers me the most is the Quincy one because it's like, you're Quincy, you should know better. And I think he already owns that. It's like the Quincy one hurts the most about all like the late penalties. The John Simpson one, it's like that shouldn't have been a penalty. I think Ramsey should have got a penalty there. But yeah, it just sucks. But like there is positives. But man, I just want the team to win. And like it is nice that the other teams are like the Dolphins are atrocious and the Patriots lost too, but like why can't we just win a football game sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, Doug, you nailed it. Great call. Appreciate it. It's just there's a lot of positives, but I'm tired of moral victories, man. Win games. There are positives when Zach Wilson looked great against the Chiefs, and he's going to build on it, and here we go. And then what happened? Like you got a chance to win games. You went out there and you won, or you went out there and you put up 32 points. You don't win. Like really, it's just stuff. Michael says, Jake, 50-year fan. When will this nightmare end? So disappointing. I mean, the only way it ends is if you have the right people in charge. And I still believe in Glenn. I do. I really like what I saw from Engstrand, but they got to turn this around quick. Like, don't start 0-2. Then go into Tampa where already week 3, your season's on the line. Oh, but Jake, they can still be a scrappy 7-win team. I don't give a flying F about being a scrap. I want to win games, man. All right. On average, 4 teams a year make the playoffs that didn't the previous year. The Jets can never be one of these teams. They haven't been in 15 years. Like, I want to win games, man. I was a sophomore in high school the last time the Jets were in the playoffs. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of losing. They should have won today. They did a lot of good things, and they still lost. That's what's so frustrating. When we spend months talking about Xavier Gibson not being on the team, that he's a liability, when we spend months questioning the Stevens contract, and then they're the reasons why they lose today, that hurts. That sucks. I can't be that positive after that. I got to vent. Get it out of my system today. We'll talk about the positives maybe starting tomorrow. Maybe. Mike says, fun fact, 0 punts in the first half of the Jets since the year I was born, 91. It's amazing. It's amazing. They didn't punt in the first half. And by the way, McNamara was good. How great was that punt that he had? Nick Falk hit from like 50 something. I know he missed the PAT early, but it's just, how did they not win this game? Brendan Ryan, big super chat. Thank you, Brendan. Small miracle today. Clemens, 0 penalties. Never thought that was possible. And he even drew double teams. Unreal. Also, last time I can remember a team lined up for a kick and missed it was the Titans and Zach Wilson's first win in overtime. Yep, that's the game I mentioned, Brendan. Appreciate your super chat. We'll get you in the raffle for 10 more. I think that was the last time a kicker lined up against the Jets with a chance to win the game and actually think about that. That's how long ago that was. Brutal.
You get the fuck out.
I can't believe it. It's just, I mean, I guess I should believe it, but you get the point. All right, more calls. A lot of you on hold. A lot of legends on hold. We'll get to everyone. Thunderlips is next. What's up, Thunderlips?
Jake, long time no talk. What's going on, brother?
Thunderlips, appreciate your super chat, man, and I'm sorry that your son had to be exposed to that type of pain.
You know what? Watching the games with the kid, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Even though they lose, but before the game started, man, like I have Steelers fans and shit like that, and they're like, what do you expect from the game? And, you know, I lied, and I was like, all I want is the Jets not to get embarrassed, right? I don't want Aaron Rodgers to expose us and just, that would be, like you said, the most Jets thing ever, right? But I'm lying. I want more than that. I want to win. In the first quarter or the first drive, what did we run 6 times and passed once? And we just drove down the field, and you're thinking to yourself, ground and pound, it's going to open up the pass game later on. And Garrett Wilson got like 95 yards and a touchdown. It was awesome, you know? Like, it just sucks. Like, to be in the game that late in the game, 2 minutes or whatever, then still lose. It sucks so bad. It's like you want it so bad. I don't know, man. Like, the offense looked awesome, and I was texting people. I was like, it feels good to have an actual NFL offense, like running and then doing like RPOs and stuff like that. Like, it's different, but we still lost, and it sucks. And I don't want to be out of the playoffs by Halloween, like every single year.
Right.
Know?
That's why losing this game is critical, because you know what? It's a win that you could have had in a game that was one of those toss-ups, and the schedule doesn't get any easier. This felt like the most winnable game, and it was. You were the better team for most of it. You just, you can't give them an extra possession. You can't commit dumb penalties. You can't, and the penalties really wasn't as big of a deal as the 2 dropped opportunities to pick Rodgers off. Like, that's the difference. They won the turnover battle. They won the game. The team that won the turnover battle, I think, wins the game in the NFL 70-something% of the time.
100%. And it's almost like a must win when you're playing Buffalo next week, and it always comes down to 1 or 2 plays, and we didn't make any of them. We didn't make any of the 1 or 2 plays, and that fumble, it sucks to pin it on that one play. But in the NFL, it's a game of inches, and sometimes it comes down to 1 or 2 plays, especially when they played and I hate what a loser mentality it is to say what a great game we played and we lost. And I hate
Yeah, they didn't win. No moral victories here. I'm with you, man. And anyone that's happy today, there's positives, sure, but they didn't win. They got to win games. You get paid to win games in the NFL, and the Jets have not done that.
Dude, before the game, my kids, like I said, my kids fucking text or talking to me and was like, I think the Jets are going to make the playoffs this year. I think he's 11. He doesn't know shit. You know what I mean? Like Justin Fields is going to be awesome. And I'm just shaking my head like, oh, yeah, sure, he's going to be awesome. You know what I mean? And I watched that first drive, and I'm like, yeah, they're freaking running 6 out of 7 times. Real good, you know? But it's like, it was working. You know what I mean? Like, everything was working, and it worked until it didn't. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I don't know, man. It sucks. It's like you think the defense is going to be on point, and the offense is going to struggle, and it was the opposite, you know. But that's the Jets, man. It's like, this is our life. It sucks so bad.
Yeah, it's just new levels of pain, man. If I would, once again, I showed this at the beginning of the show for those who tuned in late. If I showed you the Jets box score today, right? You don't know the score, but I gave you the box score from the game today, and you saw Fields at 218 yards passing, another 48 yards rushing. So it was at 300 yards of offense himself. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. He threw a touchdown. He didn't turn it over. If I would have showed you that was the stat line, Brees would have over 100. The Jets would have 394 yards of total offense. And I said, what would you say the score is? You would have thought the Jets would have won 31-3 if I told you that. Like, that would have been what anyone would have thought. And the fact that they still lost is why I can't do the positive stuff, because I am demoralized by the loss.
Well, I'm going to pull a beast breaker right here, and I'm going to pull a plug. I made a bet on the official sponsor of the Jake Asman show, FanDuel, and I bet the under on the Jets, and I bet under 40, and of course in the first half it was like 40 points. And I was like texting my friends, I was like, of course I bet under 40, and it's like fucking Jesus, man. Unreal. But bro, I can't wait to see you in October because I looked at all the spreads throughout the year, and we're favored, I think, 2 games this year, and one of them is Carolina. So go Jets. Carolina, baby. Let's get it.
Just win, man. That's all that matters.
You get the fuck out.
Point spreads don't mean anything this time of year because things are going to change. Win games, but they didn't today. So it's tough to sit here and try to accentuate a bunch of positives right now. There are positives. I can give you them. We have given you them. I want to hear from more callers, though. See with the super chat. I was at the game. Not sure if you could see it on the broadcast, but Cisco's pursuit angles were terrible all day. Offense lit it up. Fields and G5 clicking. Brees looks good. Let's go, Jets. Sorry you saw a loss, C. I mean, for what? It sounded loud on TV. Like, I thought the Jet fans that were there, and once again, it can't be a Jet home game without rain. You know, I feel bad for those who were tailgating beforehand. But it's just, God. Cisco was not good. They got away with it. Remember that one play early in the game? Sauce was in coverage on Metcalf, and Cisco's in his way. And they got lucky that Metcalf dropped it, but that could have been a huge play there. That didn't even count. It wasn't just – Stevens was bad. Michael Carter didn't have a good game. I'm not going to kill Michael Carter because you know what? He's built up a little cachet before we tar and feather him because he was bad today. He's been a very good player. I think he will bounce back. Stevens is a major question mark, though, as is Tony Adams, who, I mean, how is Tony Adams even here? Woody Johnson benched him last year. He's still on the team. I don't even know how he survived. It's amazing. I don't know. Jonathan gifted a membership. Thank you, Jonathan. Jay Graves, also that DK lucky bounce. Yeah, I mean, said that earlier. Jay Graves, thanks for calling into the radio show today, too. Appreciate that. All right, more calls. Ladies and gentlemen, I know what we need right now. We need a call that could go in a million different directions, but one thing is guaranteed. Passion will be evident.
Jake, my brother, can you hear me, my brother? I know my voice is kind of cracking, but can you hear me?
Let it rip, King. We got you.
Okay, let me start by saying this. All due respect to the first callers and all of the guys in the chat that are trying to stay positive for the team and sees the positive outlooks of the team. I salute you guys, but y'all can save that bullshit for today, okay? I don't want to hear nothing positive going forward in this freaking show, okay? I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. Ain't shit positive about losing, okay? Let me get into this defense, okay? Brandon Stevens needs to sit his ass down, okay? At the end of the day, son, he was getting cooked all game. All game, he was getting cooked, slipping everywhere, okay? I don't want to see Brandon Stevens on the field no freaking more, okay? I don't want to see A.C. Thomas. You put his butt in the game and see what he got, okay? Listen, I don't want to see that man in the damn game. He was getting cooked, and he was getting cooked on purpose. They was purposely throwing to him. Okay? That damn penalty when he is behind DK and he just leaks on the man. And you draw the damn pass to the field. What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? What are you doing? That damn Jamie Sherwood flyer move was cooking this man all game. He was cooking this man. Jonnu Smith was cooking. I don't understand why aren't the linebackers going sideline to sideline, closing out. I do not get it. Jake, they were getting cooked all game. What the hell was this defense? What was it? I get the fumble with Gibson. You cannot do that. Sit his butt down, okay? Man, I don't know what they gotta do, but they gotta see that Gibson fumbles game after game after game. You have to see that. As the coaching staff, I understand. Look, I love what AG said. If you can't, you're gonna get your butt off the field. You're gonna get your butt off the field if you're gonna do some undisciplined bullshit and you're not gonna play the game the right way. If you're gonna cause turnovers for the team, you're gonna get your butt off the field. Okay? So I love he said that. But AG, you gotta win games, son. You sitting up there smiling on the sideline. Yeah, we caught you smiling on the sideline with 5 minutes left. Ain't time to smile, son. Okay, your defense is getting cooked. And you got the same damn personnel in there doing bullshit. Okay? They got to get this together, Jake. I know I ain't got no voice right now, man. Shout out to the Asmaniacs. I love y'all. But I don't want to hear nothing positive today. Not today. Save that bullshit for tomorrow. Not today. JTS, just
King, thank you, man. All the passion. Brutal. I mean, not good enough. Not good enough to lose when you score 32 points. Not when the expectation is this defense is going to be the strength of the team. What moves to fix the secondary? I mean, I'd start by playing Malachi Moore. Give him a chance. I don't need to see Tony Adams miss more tackles. Aaron Rodgers spoke afterwards. I'll play one cut, and then we'll get back to your calls. This was Rodgers. I'm beating the Jets.
You spoke about the meeting with Aaron Glenn on McAfee a few months ago. Beating him, is there significance in that, since he basically told you to your face that he didn't think you were right for that team?
Yes, that's what he did.
So there's significance in beating him for you?
I was happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets.
I mean, what do you want him to say? I mean, did you expect him to not say that? I mean, they said, get out. So I don't blame him. This wasn't about Rodgers killing them today. This was the Jets beating themselves. I mean, Rodgers certainly played well, made a couple nice throws. It was a lot of dinking and dunking, coverage breakdowns. You know, he should have been picked off twice, and the Jets didn't take advantage. They could have uglied up his stat line, and they didn't do it. They could have put Pittsburgh in an obvious passing situation and then really sent the house on them, and they couldn't do it. So I have no issue with Rodgers saying that. It's true. More calls. Out East Pete is next. What's up, Pete?
Hey, Jake, can you come back to me in 5, 10?
Come back to you in 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't go to Out East Pete, but we can go to Mike Drop. Hello, Mike Drop.
Hey, Jake. How's it going?
What's up, man?
I'm in Vegas. I saw Circa. It's an awesome sports book. So, but we're at Aria today. But yeah, like you're saying, and like everybody's kind of saying, you know, there's no moral victories. The defense let us down, but it's all stuff we can fix. We were able to run the ball. Reese out of the backfield as a receiver. Engstrand seems like he has an idea what to do on offense. I agree the 2-point conversions weren't necessarily the best in the world. But all encouraging. We'll build off of this. It's just week 1. I know we all wanted to win, me especially. But, yeah, better luck next week. And we'll talk the Bills off. And can't guarantee a 60-yard kick from a random kicker who's never made anything over 55 before. So,
anyone ever tell you look like Jonah Hill, Mike?
Sometimes, yeah.
I like it. I'll tell you what. I didn't know Jonah Hill was a Jet fan, but I'm glad he is.
You get the fuck out.
On a serious note, enjoy Vegas, Mike. That's awesome. Sorry that you had to be there and experience an L. Let's see. More calls right now. I know what we need. Ladies and gentlemen, he hosted a bunch of Asmaniacs at his establishment today. His man cave was home to more Jets devastation. Ladies and gentlemen, sing along.
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burning his house to the ground. That's Neil.
Hello, Neil.
What's up, Jake? I'm putting an order in. Talk to the guys here. Look, I got 2 guest stars over here. I got Robert. Could you get your head in there, Rob?
Yeah,
and
you
Rich.
gotta turn it.
He's too big.
Order.
Jake.
Hello, Rob.
What a freaking shit show on the defense.
Cranberry chicken.
We were
walnut
so
chicken salad.
set and scared about the offense, and the offense showed up, and the defense freaking didn't, Jake.
Defense no-showed, and it was incredibly disappointing
You have the
because
credit card
there
number
were
and-
so many plays that were right there for them to make, and they couldn't do it.
I mean, Jake, Stevens looked awful. And why is this Jamoke Gibson still there? This is where we get mad. For Aaron Glenn, for as many things as he fixed, he's still resorting to the stupid mistakes of Gibson still being on the team and Lazard being still on the team, and all these idiots on the team making these constant mistakes. And then there's an interception right in Stevens' hand, and what is he doing? He falls down. But this is the dumb mistakes, Jake, that cost us games. Lowski's right. There's no moral victories here. I mean, this is a game we should have won.
Right.
Snowball said it himself. We gave this game away. We were winning this game. We gave this game away. This pisses us off, Jake. Pisses us off.
It should. It should. Look, there's certainly a lot of things they did well today. No one can dispute that. But to lose this game when the strength of your team's supposed to be the defense and you couldn't get a stop, it's demoralizing. It hurts. The only way you could build on this is if you actually go and win next week. But I don't think they're going to beat the Bills next week. I think they're going to start 0-2. So
I think, Jake, I disagree. I think they're going to play the Bills well.
Are they going to win though, Neil? They played the Steelers well today for a lot of it. They didn't win.
I get it. I get it. But you know what? Look, the offense really surprised everyone. I mean, Justin Fields had a great game.
Great game.
What a great look. The play
did.
calling on
He did.
offense was spectacular.
Tanner looks legit.
They moved the ball every time they had the ball, Jake. Again, it comes down to the mistakes that cost us the games.
Yeah.
Stupid things, the penalties, the roughing by Quincy, the not getting to Aaron Rodgers with the blitz enough, not having the one time or 2 times that Sauce was not on what's the receiver? Metcalf. You know, he shook Michael Carter out of his boots for 20 yards. Michael Carter was still standing there, and he ran right by him because Sauce was not covering him. So he didn't cover him the whole game. That was a mistake. Other than that, look, I said that this kid was going to kick the 60-yarder without a problem. This Steeler kicker is the best in football. That was not even a question. And Aaron Rodgers, you got to give him credit. He played a great game.
Great.
I mean, you can't say he
all
didn't
the
play a
people
great
said
game.
he's done. He's done. He's done.
I mean, for everybody that says he's done, I
Yeah.
guess you want to put a shoe right up your mouth. And shut the hell up.
Shut the hell up. Is right.
4 fucking touchdowns. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what, that wasn't the reason why they lost, though, guys.
No, I agree.
no.
I agree.
No, you're
I'm
right.
not saying that's why they
No,
lost.
we're just saying he had a good game. He had a
No,
really good game.
And I think he's going to play well. I mean, I think he still
I
could
do
play. So it's never been about that. It's
I get it.
They should have picked him off twice and did it. And all of a sudden his stat line is completely different and they win this game. It wasn't about Rodgers killing them.
No, I get it. I get it. No, listen, I was very happy with the game. Obviously not with the result. Again, you got to win those games. Aaron Glenn, I'll tell you the biggest problem. Aaron Glenn calling that timeout on the 2-point conversion, Jake. Nobody's talking about that. That was the biggest thing in the game. We said we could have had an extra timeout and not forced that, we could have been in a different situation with a minute and a half left, right or wrong.
The entire game was decided by a handful of a couple plays. That's it.
Right.
I mean, it's unacceptable.
That was one of them, though. That calling that timeout.
That Gibson can't be on the team anymore. They got to cut this son of a bitch. I don't want to see this Jamoke anymore.
All right.
Well, wait a minute. Let me see my point. And here's the thing, Jake. All those guys saying that Brees was done, he was done. Where are those people today? I want to hear them say, "Oh, let's trade him for a 5th-round pick." When they were saying, remember what type of a game did he have today? Hall. Huh?
Keep them healthy. Keep them healthy and utilize them
Like
properly. Yeah. And look, guys, if they're going to be any good, guess what? They're going to need Brees Hall to be awesome. Braylon Allen having a touchdown was great to see. 100%. But it's just horrible. I'm glad you guys at least were able to commiserate together. Brutal. By the way, Jay Quest, I'm not going to bounty 3 callers 5 seconds into their call on a post-game show that has 1,000 people watching when they're making a football point. So I'd be happy. I will happily refund you. I will give you your raffle tickets. But come on. Neil didn't do anything wrong. You can't just – I'm not going to set a precedent. We can just throw someone off a post-game show who's just making football points. Like, come on. What does Snowball do? Or Rob? Like, Jay Graves' human rights are being trampled on. She'll get her money back, but come on. Neil didn't do anything. Big Islander fan. You're always as good as your weakest link. Last year, the D could not stop the run. This year, we have a pylon at cornerback. I'm glad for Hall. Look, I've been someone who's been a huge Brees Hall fan from the beginning. He had a bad year last year. I think ultimately the thing with Brees has been, can he, 1, stay healthy, and 2, can they utilize him properly? It was nice to see him make a couple plays as a receiver today, 38 yards receiving. It was awesome to see this team go out there and put some of its players in positions to be successful on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, they spread the ball around. I mean, how many guys caught passes today, right? Garrett obviously led them with 7, which you expect. But Brees had 2. Tyler Johnson had 2. Mason Taylor had that one big 20-yard completion. I'd like to see him more involved. And by the way, because we've been very critical of them, Jeremy Ruckert played well today. It looked like he was good in the blocking game, and I thought he was very good on those 2 catches he made. He didn't have any drops. I mean, for what it's worth, Ruckert actually did something today. Nice to see. More calls right now, shall we? Sean is on the line. He's next. Hey, Sean.
Hey, you doing, Jake? How's everything?
Are you Sean Mahan? I have 2 Seans on the line, but people are trying to get in. So is that you also on hold with another account, Sean?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to remove that one so to open a spot for someone trying to call in. Go ahead, Sean.
All right. Yes, I'm totally appalled, by like the loss, because how many times is Fields is gonna like put up these numbers, Justin Fields is gonna put up these kind of numbers and be successful, and we're gonna be able to win some games, because he's a hot and cold. I think he's like a hot and cold type of quarterback. I don't know if he can consistently keep this up. When he's putting these type of numbers up.
I mean, probably not. That's why it's tough that you didn't win today. It doesn't mean he can't play well, though. Like the Jets hopefully with their defense shouldn't need to score over 32 points to win. Like 32 should have been more than enough.
I know. I remember with Saleh, they were like, to score 20 points, and we might win most likely, with Zach Wilson. And I know Justin Fields is better than Zach Wilson. So, I mean, it's always another way to lose, It's always with this team. It's always another way to lose. I don't think there's any other when it comes down to like when you think about it, like any other ways to lose. I think we covered it all, right? We checked all the boxes. Like in any way to lose. And it sucks, man. It sucks, man.
Yeah, it does.
You get the fuck out.
I appreciate it, Sean. It does suck. Losing does suck. It's all I've known since I've been a fan of this team outside of a handful of years. Last 15 years has been nothing but losing. I get it. Brutal. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mad Max.
What do you guys' opinion on me doing a backflip through this orange wall? What's up, guys? Can you guys hear me?
Oh, we hear you, Mad Max.
So, I think we played good, but, it's a loss is a loss. I wanted the Jets to win, but, there are some positive signs. The offense played really good. When was the last time the Jets offense actually played this good? We had 32 points. I just think our defense played terrible. We had We had so many open, and I think the penalties are so big part of the problem. I'm predicting, Justin Fields 200 passing yards. I was probably on the money. I was like, you called me crazy when the Jets were at 300 total yards of offense, but Justin Fields played good today, and then I want the Jets, to beat the Bills. I want to clean some of the mistakes up. I think the defense needs to play better.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately, if you're the Jets, you feel really encouraged, of course, by the offense, but you have to correct the coverage breakdowns that you had in your secondary, because that was the difference in the game. You got to obviously, Brandon Stevens and Michael Carter need to hit the jugs machines this week and catch passes that hit them in the hands. But the coverage breakdowns for a defense that has 8 of its 11 starters back, unacceptable.
I agree with you on that. I think the defense is horrible. Like, there was missed tackles everywhere, I just, and the strength of this team is a defense. I just think the defense needs to play better because, the Bills' offense is, high-powered. But I didn't think the loss was as bad because, I probably seen, way worse Jets losses, in my opinion. Look, I understand we lost today. I'm kind of mad about it. But, look, Gibson, I don't think should be playing. I think we should elevate Pritchett because, I think Pritchett played way better than Gibson.
Gibson only being there is because you had the injury to Kene in the first place, but he shouldn't be back there. Let Arian Smith be the primary returner if Kene is going to be out.
I agree with you because I feel like Arian Smith showed me way more potential as a punt returner than Gibson. He was horrible. He had the fumble that cost us the game, and then with the penalties, I think some of them were kind of ticky-tacky in my opinion.
Yeah, look, to me the officials didn't decide this game. The Jets' inability to put the Steelers away, the inability to turn them over when you had 2 golden opportunities, the fumble, that's what did it. The officiating was not a reason why the Jets lost today.
Could agree with you on that. I think the penalties were bad, but give credit to the offense. X-Rain was a good play caller. He was better than Hackett. We use Fields in a really good way as a rusher and as a passer. Everyone's like, oh, Fields can't pass. No, he can. He had moronic offensive coordinators with Getsy and with Arthur Smith. I just hope Fields continues to play good.
That's it, Max. Look, if he plays that well again, you're going to win more games than anyone would imagine. But the defense has to get fixed. That's number one. Now, as far as you, Max, last time you called in, you said you were going to be going to a big banger at one of the frat houses. Max, for those who don't know, you're a freshman in college, Max, or sophomore?
No, I'm a sophomore. All
right. So what happened this weekend, Max? Update the over 1,000 people watching. What type of shenanigans you got into?
I didn't do much this weekend. The weather was absolutely horrible. It was like a downpour. It was that bad.
You stayed in all weekend?
It was like that. No, I was supposed to go out, but there was this massive downpour. It was like South Jersey. It was like massive.
No wet T-shirt contest.
I had a wet T-shirt like that, babe.
No, not you. Okay. Max, you have a hell of a day. All right.
Good, and I think go Jets.
Great transition.
Calm your freaky down.
Thank you, Max. All right, more calls right now. Philly Noodles is on the line. He's next. What's up, Philly?
That kid's got to be around the 64 immediately.
Oh, he's in the tournament.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the tourney. Please, there, go. Yeah. Shout out Doug on the couch who beat me last year. He's on the bed. This past year. Maybe we'll see each other in the round of 64 again. Lost my voice being happy. I was watching the game with Indy Jets actually in Charlotte at a local, pub. It was the ups and dude, the roller coaster going up and down again. I understand for Jets fans, it's always back with us when the season's there. But this one was like, nah, bro, it should have been closed out. Brandon Stevens, dear God, if he stands on business, Aaron Glenn, and there's accountability, I don't even want to know he's dressed next week. He couldn't even field his cleats on the field. Forget running and keeping up with the players. He couldn't even keep his feet on the field. And everyone else did.
He kept slipping, and it was so costly because it led to so many big plays, and the lack of a big play he could have made to redeem himself.
Crazy. You can't sit here even blame the field completely. It didn't happen to everybody else. So he couldn't keep his feet underneath him. Which should have went to AZ Thomas at some point. Hopefully they do next week. Of course we can hang our hat on some moral victory. And I thought about it on the way home in the car ride, but it's like, man, it's like, damn, bro, accountability. All I want to know is accountability is there on himself for going for 2-pointers, on himself for allowing these players to continue to play throughout the game. Those guys better not be strapped up and ready to go next week. You can ride on the bench. We'll do a little AC Thomas. And I even question our safeties. I question Cisco, and he kind of showed up, but not really. And I questioned Tony Adams, and this is why I did. This is why I said Justin Simmons is still available. Please go get him. If this is what we did, losing against the Steelers, go get me Justin Simmons now. Go get me a guard now, and let's if we're about maybe doing anything this year, go do it immediately. You got the cap room, get it done. And another thing, we can hang the hat on Gibson, whatever the hell, bench him if you gotta. Who cares? What's his name's hurt, so they might not even do that. Maybe they'll move up Pritchard and somebody else. Maybe they'll move up Donovan Edwards if he's available still. But period on the story is Wilson. That ball popped out. You called out Ramsey. Everybody remember that. He called him one-on-one. He got in his face and said, yeah, go ahead, guard me. Okay. You beat him on a route. Okay. I saw that play. You scored a touchdown. Great. In the end, he and him were one-on-one. He could have held that ball. You just got paid $30 million. You got to catch that. And people need to understand he's got to hold on to that ball.
That's a tough play. It's tough to compare when
dude.
he had a really good game overall. I mean, they scored 32 points, Philly, and they lost. It's when they lose, we nitpick these things. I think in the grand scheme of things, the least of my worries is Garrett Wilson not holding on to that ball at the end. I also think Fields could have had a first down with his legs. If we really want to nitpick it. Brutal. Raphael says Brees doubters can shut up for a week. Yeah, I mean, he's a really good football player, and they need him. You saw it today. Eli says, I don't care how people feel. I came away from this game extremely hopeful, even if the result wasn't what we wanted. Jets football is here. I get that. Can they win next week? Like, what does it really mean if they start 0-2, Eli? Robin Boy says, Jake, these are the type of losses that keep me up all Sunday night until 4 a.m. and make Monday mornings impossible. Put me in the raffle. Maybe winning the raffle will help me sleep. Go Jets. Robin, good luck. I mean, forget it. My whole mood is ruined for the week. Brutal. We get so excited for the season, then people get so. I never understood why people get so excited because the pain is underway. You know, if we were Ravens fans or Bills fans, or we knew our team was going to be good every year, I'd be excited. These games are torture to watch. I don't enjoy them. I'm miserable watching this team. This is the Jets, if you're a Jet fan, for my Sopranos fans out there. This is what it's like. All right? Right? Like, this is the pain level. I don't enjoy watching this team. I hate watching this team. I like watching other teams. I like watching football. Like, I'll enjoy watching Bills Ravens later, but when the Jets play, I hate watching the Jets play. It's miserable. Takes years off my life. I have no voice. Terrible. I'm about to be in hour number 6 of broadcasting today. And you do all this because you want to see the team win, and they never do. Beast, you said you were going to call in and we were going to win, call in and explain. Beast is currently not on hold, Spencer, so I can't help you there. Connor Long checks in. Tough loss, but a lot of positives. The way Engstrand's used Fields was super effective, and they established an identity on the ground. You're the GOAT, Jake. Thank you, Connor. I'm definitely not. Brutal. Engstrand, I thought, called a hell of a game. It was really impressive. But then they wasted it. Remember Zach Wilson had that great game against the Chiefs? Oh, this is where he turns the corner. Didn't lead to anything. You never know. Like, you got a chance to win games. Guess what? You got to win the game. Rick Kent says, I don't have anything to say that hasn't been said. Just show my 2-year milestone. Go Jets. Rick, thank you. Always appreciate your support. F Buffalo. Let's beat them next week. That's it. That's all we can do. Keith says, we could build off this, but why is Gibson on the team? He stinks. One good return this entire tenure. Fair catch to the ball when he has plenty of room to run. I just can't believe we're still doing Xavier Gibson conversations. It's like it's baffling. They got it right with Lazard. He was inactive. Thank you. But Gibson's playing. I don't get it. More calls. Long Beach Joe is on the line. What's up, Long Beach Joe?
Salutes, Jack. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First off, salutes and respect to everybody, everybody, all the watchers, and you as well. I know that people are upset about the loss. I'm not happy about it at all. But honestly, dude, I'm taking a lot of positives away from this. And I know some people don't like that, but it is what it is. Like, because I was very impressed by this Jets offense in particular.
Yeah, but
And
the
that
defense was horrific, Joe. I can't
It
ignore
was
that.
terrible. The defense was terrible, and we'll get to that. But the offense was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, question mark going into this season, right? Everybody was wondering, okay, well, who is Justin Fields? A lot of Jets fans did not want him. Trust me. I talked to him on a weekly basis. Didn't want to have nothing to do with Justin Fields, thought he was trash. Justin Fields was amazing today. Like, he was really good. Some of the throws that he made from the pocket, he made that tough throw to, I believe it was Jeremy Ruckert, through a tight window. I'm talking, there was hands everywhere from the Steelers, and that ball got right through there and got to Ruckert and hit him right where he needed to be. He caught it and got down, and that was the first down. Justin Fields looked really good. He was decisive with the ball, quick to get the ball out of his hands, wasn't just standing back there, and he didn't make the big mistake and throw an interception or do something crazy. He looked very cool, calm, and poised in the pocket. And not just that, him being able to utilize his feet was great. Like, we saw him not only get it done from the pocket, but also run in for 2 touchdowns. The RPO game opened up because of him as well. We saw him utilize his feet to get yards, get first downs and stuff like that. Justin Fields was really good tonight. If we get this Justin Fields throughout this season, I'm telling you, my expectations for this team are raising, but I'm going week by week. So, and I also want to talk about something that nobody's talked about tonight as well. The Jets offensive line. Can we talk about that? Really good tonight too. Really good today.
Yeah, everything you're saying is true, Joe. I can't be that
really
excited
really
when they lost. They lost. They didn't win the game. They lost. They had a chance to go down the field at the end and still win the game and make up for it too, and they couldn't convert on that critical play at the end.
And look, and I get
I'm
that,
not even trying to criticize the offense because, like, I thought the offense did more than enough. I thought Fields was great. I agree with everything you said, but I don't know. Maybe I'll be more positive and feel better about it tomorrow. But I am disgusted by today.
I get it. I get it. A loss is a loss. But at the same time, again, this was a team that there were some people I was talking to that expected Jets to only win 4 games.
Not me. I never thought that.
Maybe not you, but there's a lot of Jets fans out there that didn't expect this team to do anything. We put up 32 points.
They lost. They didn't win. They didn't win the game.
I know that, Jake, but we put up 32 points on a Pittsburgh Steelers team that is a fringe or a playoff team. A lot of people look at them like they're a playoff team, right? 32 points on that team with no legitimate number 2 wide receiver. Nothing. It's just Garrett Wilson. Everybody else is question marks. So it's like you look at that and it's like I don't think there were many Jets fans that thought we would score 32 points on this Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Yeah, but Joe, in 2012, they didn't score a touchdown. Joe, 2012.
It's crazy.
But like 2012, the Jets didn't score a touchdown in the preseason, and then Sanchez comes out week 1. Stephen Hill has 2 touchdowns. They put up 48 on the Bills. Didn't mean anything. They ended up being terrible. Like, ultimately, like, you didn't get the win. So it's like, I don't know if we want to jump to conclusions that this offense now is going to be awesome and they're going to be great. Like, they didn't do enough to win the game. Like, I can't be that excited about all these positives when they didn't win.
But Jake, I tell you what, I'm excited because this offense put this team in position to win. The defense is terrible. I mean, when you look at Breece Hall looked great. 107 yards on the ground. The receiving game, he looked phenomenal. Garrett Wilson was solid, right? 95 yards, had a touchdown, had a big 33-yard touchdown. He looked good. And the play calling was good too. That was another big question that we had as well. What can the staff do? Tanner Engelstrand has brought the New York Jets offense into the modern day NFL.
Did you call him Engelstrand?
Engstrand?
Yeah.
Engstrand, excuse me. Looked really good. Like, to me, the offense looked really good.
They did. Everything you're saying is true, but
the Jets defense was terrible. Yes.
That's a huge problem, though. They gave Stevens big money. He stunk.
Yeah. But I questioned him from day one. That signing was terrible from day one. I never liked it. But another big question that nobody's talking about, why isn't Sauce just following DK Metcalf everywhere? Why isn't he traveling? He should have his bags packed. He should have a suitcase every time he comes to the game. He should be traveling everywhere. There should never be anywhere that a number 1 wide receiver goes that Sauce, who we all say is the best corner in the league, shouldn't be. I don't care where he goes. If he goes to his car, you follow him to his car, period. So I don't understand that as well. That's something that needs to be worked on. Brandon Stevens is trash. He's never been a guy that's been able to get his head around. I watched him with the Ravens. He wasn't good there. I don't think he's going to be good here. We're going to have issues over there, and teams are constantly going to pick on him. And also the penalty issues. One of the worst penalties we had in the game was the 15 yards out of bound hit on Quincy in the 4th quarter because that extended the Steelers' drive, and they scored on that drive as well. But I tell you what, Will McDonald, he looked really good today. He looked really good. So, there's some things to take away from this game. Like I said, there's some positives. Also, another question: why is Quentin Williams on the sidelines? Like, what's going on with that? Like, why is he just on the sidelines during drives? Like, he should be out there. That's our guy. So, I understand that people are upset about the loss. I'm not happy about it either. But 32 points from a Jets offense and a defense that needs work, but that's what Aaron Glenn and Steve Wilkes are here to do. It's like, it is what it is. I'm just taking the positive.
Look, I appreciate it, Joe. I don't have it in me to be positive. I don't. Like it. I am crushed by that loss. I'm tired of the silver linings. They lost. They win the game. Period. Are the Jets going to score 32 points again on offense this year? It wouldn't surprise me if they don't. So I don't think this is now we got our, you could have won this game today. Beat the Bills and I'll be excited. But if they play the exact same game and lose to the Bills next week, guess what? It means nothing. You're 0-2. You play that well and don't get anything to show for it. You put yourself in a very dangerous spot now next week. Kate says, we could build off of this, but why is Gibson on the team? Did I read that already? I think I did. Jake, you're a longtime suffering fan like all of us, but please take some. Keith, I could give you positives, all right? We talked about them. I can't change how I feel, all right? I can't. If you want me to be a homer and tell you all is well when this team hasn't made the playoffs in 15 years, hasn't won more than 7 games in a decade, has not won a division title since 2002. I'm sorry. I can't fake it. I can't. We could be excited about some of the positives and also acknowledge that ultimately they lost. They didn't win. They lost. All right? We had one guy tell us best he's felt about a Jet coach and OC in 40 years. How? They lost. They didn't win the game. They got to win games, man. It's a results-oriented league. That's it. They lost. There's positives, but I can't accentuate those positives fresh off a loss. Brendan says, how worried are we when Simpson was hurt? I mean, Glenn didn't say anything after the game on any injuries, so I don't know. But yeah, I mean, if Simpson is out, yeah, of course. My big fear is not, oh my God, AVT's out. Like, they're screwed. It's the next injury now, they're in trouble. Right? Because you've already lost a key cog to your O-line, and now you're testing your depth beyond that. You've already had to use Tippmann at guard and play Myers at center. Who's the next guy up if one of them gets hurt? Max Mitchell? Newman? That's the issue. All right. More calls. Appreciate everyone who's on hold. Out East, Pete. Let's try again. Hello, Pete.
Hey, Jake. Thanks for taking the call. It's nice to commiserate with the rest of the fans here, but it hurts, because it's probably the best I've seen their offense in the past 4 years, and we still lose. It's a heartbreaker. But I think I would agree with a lot of the other points that were made. The big 3 takeaways that I saw that caused the loss was they were horrible on 3rd and long. They would stop them first 2 downs and then let them get a first down every time. Second, couldn't force a turnover. And third, obviously, that fumble killed us. It was nice to see them bounce back from that, though. And I felt like they did really well in the face of adversity after that fumble. I was like, wow. I don't think it's the same old Jets, but it was the same old Jets loss, right? And and the defense is very reminiscent of last year. They're not clutch. They can't stop them when it counts. And no moral victories as usual. I thought Glenn did a good job. I wouldn't put this on him. The first 2-point conversion I would agree with after that, yip from Folk, and you got to get a yard, right? But the play call on that, we can nitpick all day, right? But the play call using shotgun there kind of negates the point of being on the 1 yard line for me. But there's a few things here,
especially if you're taking the ball out of Fields' hands. Like, if the whole point is you have the quarterback option, but he's dropping back and throwing in the triple coverage to Garrett there, it didn't make any sense.
It was the first one where I think they gave it to
Braylon Allen. Yeah, I didn't like that either.
Yeah, out of shotgun. It didn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. The 2 timeouts weren't necessary at the time, but I thought Sauce, Garrett, Hall, the DNs, Fields, they all looked great. So
Tremaine looked good. Quinnen looked good. How did they lose this game? Individually, there's so many good things. That's why I can't be excited. Right. And that's the problem, Pete, because of the Jets. And I'm sick and tired of it. So there's no moral victories. They lost. That's what happened. Tim from Fishland is up next. Hello, Tim.
Hey, Jake, long time.
What's up, Tim? Good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you too, my brother. This is the same old Jets. This is the same old, what should I say? The cannot close out a game, cannot stay consistent with it. All right. What is there? How many phases of a football team are there? 3. Only 1 showed up today, if you think about it. Now, you had bright spots you could look at. But just like I said, when they put this team together, we'll see what happens. Just keep your expectations low, because it's not going to hurt you as much in the long run. That's basically where I'm at. I have been throughout the whole year. I was pleasantly surprised watching them, especially on offense, especially with the offensive line today. But let's see if it can stay consistent. Let's see if they can fix the other 2 phases of the football game of team. Okay. The defensive line looked a lot better against the run. Positive. That's the only thing I can give on defense for a positive aspect. But other than that, undisciplined, not being able to finish the goddamn game. All right. You get up on somebody by 2 scores, you close out the game. That separates the good teams from the great teams that are going to go to the playoffs. Simple as that.
Yeah, Tim. I mean, ultimately, you got to win 1-score games. You had the lead in the 4th quarter and you blow it. So, Eli, at least we're not the Dolphins. Yeah, great. They suck too. Tyler says, week 1, 32 points on a legit top defense. Run D and rushing great. Sauce travel with DK in the second half. Passing defense needs major help. Rodgers' comments pissed me off. If you're pissed off, then you know what? Win the game. Pick him off twice. I have 0 issue with what Aaron Rodgers said. They told him to get the F out. If you don't think an all-time great is going to use that for motivation and want to stick it to the team that quote-unquote fired him, I mean, come on. I have 0 issue. You want to beat Aaron Rodgers? You had a chance to. You didn't. You didn't do it. He can say whatever the hell he wants. Josh is up next. What's up, Josh?
Jake, this is so disappointing, man. Like,
get ready for more of it, Josh. You're young. You
no,
still got many years of this.
I know what I've signed myself up for. Believe me, this is not the first time we have been through stuff like this. But man, it just feels like such a wasted opportunity. I was at MetLife. That was far and away the loudest I've ever heard it. My first season opener, and you know what my dad told me about the season opener? At least we can say we still got the rest of the season to look forward to. And the season hasn't been ruined yet. But, of course, the Jets spoiled. Justin Fields
Where's
is
your
awesome.
flag, Josh? Didn't they give flags to everyone there?
They gave I mean, I don't give a shit about it. It's somewhere in the back of the trine. I don't want the flag. I want to win. I want a well-played game, and it just spoiled Justin Fields' awesome debut. I get a couple points here. Number one is that I don't think Aaron Glenn got criticized quite as much as I thought. 34 points in a guy that you hired to be a defensive specialist on a coach. That's unacceptable. You said it. The secondary was awful all day, and there was great individual performances. Will McDonald, awesome. The entire defensive line was getting after Rodgers, and Sauce Gardner, awesome. Brandon Stevens, my goodness, was awful. The rest of the secondary, Michael Carter slipped like 3 times. Someone needs to get him a new pair of shoes. And Aaron Glenn, those 2 timeouts, you can't call him in the 3rd quarter. That's just inexperienced coaching right there, and that has to get better. That can't happen, because if you're going into that 45-second drill in the last bits of the 4th quarter with 3 or even 2 timeouts rather than 1, you burn one there after the quick completion over the middle. It's a complete reset. That's just inexperienced coaching, and it can't happen. You have to know in these games that you know are going to come down to the wire. You can't burn second half timeouts, especially early into the second half. That can't happen. And then whoever said that Buffalo needs to watch out next week in a super chat, I don't remember who it was. I mean, that is the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. because you just played Aaron Rodgers, who put up 34 points against you. And next week, you're going to welcome Josh Allen, an MVP, into the building, who with one of the most dynamic offenses in the league, and you just gave up 34 to an immobile Aaron Rodgers, and you want to tell me that Buffalo's got to look out for the New York Jets? That's ridiculous. This team needs to start winning football games, and unfortunately, Jake, the beginning of the season is so annoyingly rough, and to be honest, right now, I'm looking at a 1-6 team, whether it be the Bills coming up, the Broncos. There's so many losable games here, and just the way the Jets played is so
1-6.
demoralizing.
Jeez.
I will. I'll shut up and let you talk, but man, it's such a demoralizing game. Always the Jets, man. Always the Jets.
Josh, welcome to hell, man. Bring your sunblock. This is only the beginning. I mean, come on. What 1-6? I mean, I start 1-6. I don't know what I'm going to do. Can they win next week? Please. Please. I can't do 0-2 going to Tampa. Oh. Brutal. More calls. I'm 2 hours in, and we still have like 12 people on hold. So I will do my best here. I am, about to enter hour 7 of broadcasting today. Let's keep it rolling, though. Make your points quick, and we will do our best to get to absolutely everyone who is spending time with us on hold.
Purple about Mike, he loves the dark night. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
This sucks. I'm not going to reiterate all over again the same shit, but
season over, Mike. That was your super chat earlier.
The only way it's not over is we have to win 2 of the next 3. And is that possible? I mean, you got to do the math here. 1-5 is we're staring 1-5 in the face. So unless they can prove us wrong and we win 2 of the next 3, we're gonna start 1-5. So I hope that's not the case. I don't want to take moral victories. There's no fucking moral victory at 1-5. If we lose every game by 1 point and score 30 points, what does that matter? That does not matter. Winning matters. We have to win. We got outcoached and we missed opportunities. That's what happened. It sucks that Fields played so good. He played better than I thought he would, and we lost. I cannot believe, and I can believe that happened. A 60-yard field goal is insane, but the Jets are going to jet. So prove us wrong. Win 2 of the next 3. I don't care how you do it, but you got to do it because I can't have my birthday come around before Halloween and the season's over again. Come on. Change it. Don't be same old Jets because all we see is same old Jets. So don't be same old Jets. This was same old Jets. Change it. Win 2 of 3.
Mike, thank you. Ben is next. What's up, Ben?
Hey, Jake. Thanks for taking my call. One point I'd like to make that nobody is talking about here is the fact that Nick Folk continuously misses chip shots and puts us behind. This should have been a tie game at 34-34.
What do you mean continuously, though? Like he hasn't been a Jet in 8 years.
I could have swore he's been. Well, that's just a brain fart on my end. But
You're confusing it for Greg Zuerlein, who sucked last year, and they cut him. Look, I'm not making an excuse for Falk. It was a bad miss on the PAT, but he did hit like a 50-something yarder later in the game.
Right.
And you know what? They could have gave him another chance to hit the PAT. They chose to go for 2. I thought that was way too early to be doing that. I didn't like Lynn doing that, if I'm going to be critical.
No, you're exactly right. Greg the leg screwed us over last year. That's right. But it's like, boy, how many times are we going to mess up with these kickers on the extra point and put us behind? Anyways, Quentin Williams was out for an entire drive in the third quarter, early fourth quarter maybe, and they marched down the field on us.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if they was recharging his battery or what they were doing.
No one knows because they didn't ask Glenn after the game, so I can't answer that, Ben. But it was a big moment. Him not being there, you clearly saw the result. Went right down the field. Super chat from Brendan. My wife says I waste money yelling about the Jets, but thanks to Jake, I finally found a cult that understands. She's got yoga. I've got a bunch of dudes at the garage chanting, just give it the breeze. Great line. I mean, we are built different in this fan base, man, and I'm grateful for that. I literally make my living talking about a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 15 years, and that wouldn't be possible without having this fan base be what it is. But We are so due for a great season. Not a good season, a great season. But we're not even asking for that. 9-8, man. That's it. Brutal. Julius Pimpin up next. What's up, Julius?
Yo, what's up, Jake? How you doing today, man?
I've been better, man. I like the chain, though. Respect.
Hey, man. I tried to put it on today for him, but once again, my wife said, "You wearing that chain again? It's bad luck." Oh, man. But today, I think two things. The decision to not cut Xavier Gibson and they cut Pritchard. A lot of people was questioning that, and it showed up again today. This guy has had 5 fumbles on special teams since he's been in the league. He's only been in the league, what, 3 years?
He's been in the league for 3. This is his 3rd season.
Yeah, 5 fumbles. This guy, he needs to be cut.
He shouldn't be the returner. He shouldn't be the punt returner either. It's it's unfortunate. I don't know why they didn't. Well, I mean, I do know why. I disagree with it, but it's just it's frustrating because some of our big concerns about this Jets team and going into the year was Xavier Gibson and Brandon Stevens, and both of them directly led to this.
Oh my God, Stevens killed us today. And then Justin Fields played. I think he played a real good game today, but it was a couple RPOs. He made the bad decision. He made a few bad decisions on the RPOs, and I think he cost us a couple of at least first downs. I'm not going to say big plays, but at least first downs that could have kept the drive going.
Yeah, it's tough to be critical of Fields though, because overall he was really really good.
True. And over there, the more the season goes on, I think that part will get better. But yeah, today sucks.
Yeah, a good call, Julius. I appreciate your support. A couple super chats here. Right back to your calls. Tyler says, Louisiana Jet fan over here, excited for December 21st. Only every 8 years do I get to see a Jets game live. Hey, I hope that game matters. It's late in the year. New Orleans, I was just there for the Super Bowl this past year. Great town. Saints today, they lost at home to the Cardinals. Spencer Rattler. I mean, I didn't see much of the game. I had Red Zone on the third screen here. By the way, Denver and Tennessee, 13-12. The only downside of doing these post-game shows is I never get to see the late window if the Jets play out 1. So I'll be, watching all the highlights later and getting caught up on everything. But the number one pick in the survivor pool for people was Denver at home, and Cam Ward and company are in the game right now. We'll see. The NFL's weird early on. That's why, I'm not going to just automatically assume the Jets can't win next week. They absolutely can. But they better. Because you squandered a golden opportunity to at least stabilize things early, right? You're not worried about an 0-3 start, 0-4. You got to win in the can. Can you then go, let's say, 1-1 over your next 2? And who wouldn't sign for this team to be 2-2 after the first 4 games of the year? Now it's a lot harder to do that. ISU says, here's the thing about the late window. I don't give an F about any other team. I know. I feel the same way, man. I got the Lions game on in front of me here. Detroit doesn't look great, but, I'm with you, man. My mood is just demoralized when the Jets lose. When it's late in the year, you get numb to it, right? After they lost to New England and they fell to 2-6, that was it for me. But, this part is so, this is when I'm all in. This is it. Let's go. And it hurts that much more. Raven is on the line. She's next on the show. Hello, Raven.
Hey, Jake, I gotta apologize. You caught me in the middle of me doing my makeup. I'm going to a concert after this, which is probably
who are you seeing?
Lady Gaga.
Ooh, Lady Gaga. Well done.
Lady Gaga. She's probably the only person that could lift my mood right now. So, this definitely was a gut punch. I will say that I am one of the people that's feeling a bit more positive because, look, I'm looking at this season as the long game. I want to see this team just get more competitive and more competent as time goes on. But the thing that absolutely just made me so angry, I think it was the second defensive snap, and it was one of our safeties. I wish I wrote down who, but I swear to God, it looked like they paused and then attempted this tackle. It was on a passing play for the Steelers. Like I said, I can't remember who it was, and I'm pissed off that I didn't wrote it down. But it literally, what are you doing? Get right on that guy. The secondary is a huge problem, and that's the biggest thing that I'm focusing on, because at the end of the day, we know our offense is pretty thin overall. So we got to have our defense being that dominant and aggressive force that we know them to be in order to keep us in the game. And, you know, we knew all of this. A lot of the problems we saw today were things we knew. So, you know, I was happy that anything else didn't come out. It was kind of like all shit that I expected. But overall, like listening to all of you break it down and each little part, it's definitely kind of has me a bit more like, all right, this a lot of this is a lot of stupid same old Jets stuff. But if this is where we're starting, it can only go up. So I'm gonna end my take with some of the little positive and tell everyone once again to breathe. It's game 1. We got this. We're good. We're fine. Nobody's expecting us to go to the playoffs. Let's just have a good team this season. That's all I care about.
Well, you know what though? Like it's harder to do that when you lose games like this that you should have won. Good call, Raven. I like the positivity. Enjoy the Lady Gaga concert. You know, get her to become an Asmaniac. We'd love to have her on the show. It's just tough. You know, you want to have a good team. Well, you know what? Like, these are the games you got to win to stay relevant. I would like to see the Jets in the hunt in December. We're back to that. I put the Jets in the hunt in the graphic in December. But it's there's no moral victories. It's tough. You got to win games. If they go out there and respond and beat Buffalo next week, then I'll say, you know what? Maybe they did build on this game. But I don't think they're scoring 32 points again all year. Prove me wrong. I hope they do. That's why I'm so just livid, man. Your quarterback plays that well, you got to win the game. Sucks. Cheeseman says it's week 1. Sky's not falling yet. Yeah, but you know what? We've seen this thing, man. We've seen this before. I'm not going to tell any Jet fan how to feel. I am disgusted with today. I really am. I don't see any, like, there's positives. Yes, they don't make me feel any better right now. They don't. Tristan Oliver is up next. Hello, Tristan.
What's up, Jake? How you doing?
You know, what's going on?
Yeah. You know, I don't ever come on here and yell, but like I'm really super appreciative of the fact that the offense like responded every time that the defense failed them. I feel like that's really the biggest thing. Like Tanner Angstrand did not say, all right, they failed us. Let me whip some trick out of my bag and try and, you know, put us in a bad position or anything like that. He was trying to methodically, every single drive that he had, move it down the field, put us in field goal position, or put it in the end zone, and Fields was feeding off of that and feeding off the confidence in him. Now, I'll say this. I have never yelled on this show before, but Aaron Glenn should know when he has garbage juice at quarterback. Why do you not know if you have garbage juice at quarterback? Stevenson is garbage juice. And Raven, you said something about there being a pause when they tried to tackle DK Metcalf. He made Carter shake ass like a Magic City stripper. He's supposed to be the best nickel quarterback in the league. Why? Stevenson had more bad plays than Antonio Cromartie has kids. That was such a bad signing. What are we doing? If I see number 3 on the field in a Jets uniform again, I'm still going to be a fan, but I'm going to be really upset about it. That's all I have.
You feel a little better?
Yeah, I feel, I understand, like, why they come on here and yell and stuff. You know, sometimes, like, coming off of, like, the peaceful points and stuff.
You get the fuck out.
Love it. Thank you, Tristan. Someone said that. Someone in the chat. I didn't see who said it. I lost it. Someone said he's Timu Kinglowski. That's rough, man. Come on. Oh, God. The pain never ends. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy called my radio show in the 8 a.m. hour, and he's back for more. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello right now to, hold on, a man who hails all the way from Vermont.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Hi, Jake. How you doing?
Is that a new couch behind you?
No, that's a chair.
Oh, where'd that come from?
That's always been there.
I feel like maybe you cleaned your apartment then, because I've never seen it without stuff on it.
Yeah, but that's always been there. So,
Okay.
yeah, I took the Jets 21-10 because I thought the offense would be better and then the defense would be better. But
By the way, so Bobby called in today, predicted 4 sacks. He said Sauce would have 2 interceptions. Rodgers should have had 2 interceptions. Now, they weren't to Sauce. It should have been Carter and Brandon Stevens, but you were all over it. He should have had 2 interceptions today.
Well, I wish the Jets could have just kept the defense, could have kept the score lower. Yeah, I agree. And kudos to that kid, Josh. I'm telling you, he's going to be another. What's our friend, Connor Long? He's going to be like another Connor Long. He knows his football at his age. That kid's great.
He does.
And I'm telling you, it was depressing, demoralizing loss. I cried after the game.
You cried?
I had to watch it. It was horrible. Michael got upset too. He was watching it. And I don't know how his apartment is right now because when the Jets lose, he gets very mad. One time remember that the Jets-Pittsburgh game in the playoffs? When the kicker missed the field goal.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah, he started throwing stuff. I had my ex-wife with me. Oh, my God, it's crazy.
The Doug Bryan game, yep.
But you did very good on the radio today. I was happy. So he comes on 9 o'clock every Sunday now?
Yep. The first hour is me solo, then Mike is with me from 9 to noon.
All right, wait till I want to talk to Mike.
What are you going to say to him?
I want to congratulate him from when he was on the Jets. He got Revis back for us.
That wasn't him.
It wasn't him. I thought he went to the thing.
No. Well, he drafted Darrelle Revis, but John Izek, Mike McCagnon was the one who re-signed Revis as a free agent.
Oh, I thought he went to go see. Maybe I got the wrong person. I thought he went to Roscoe's or something.
No, that was him. But you're confusing scenarios here. That was when Revis was holding out, and they were trying to get a deal done with his agents. Either way, Bob, appreciate your support. Call in. We'll put you on with Mike. More calls. Ladies and gentlemen, Australian Jets fan is up next. Hello, Australian Jets fan.
Hi, Jake. I was obviously pretty devastated after the loss as well, but I'm already over it. We can complain as much as we want, but there's nothing we can do about it now. I'm ready.
How come you're not wearing the Justin Fields jersey? I got you. Oh, you are. I thought it was. I thought it was a Garrett jersey. I couldn't tell.
No. I haven't bought one of those yet. But yeah, I know that it's hard. If there's anyone that doesn't deserve to be told to be patient, it's Jet fans because we've been waiting for so long. I know it's hard, but I genuinely felt like it feels like there's a different culture. It looks like, they're playing more for each other. It looks like there's accountability. So I'm saying at least these mistakes are being made now, and hopefully they're not made later again in the season, and we can actually win games.
Yeah, look, I appreciate the positivity. I don't know. Did they really? I don't know. I think people are just looking to make a lot more than what it was. Oh, they were so well. It's like the defense allowed 34 points. It's supposed to be the strength of the team. They have a defensive coach. They have an experienced defensive coordinator. They have 8 of their 11 starters back. I don't know. I am actually surprised there are this many people that want to be positive after that loss. I was livid. I still am. I am disgusted by this loss. I don't know. I can't fake it. I would love to be positive if I believed it. I can't do that. It's tough. I respect the people that are trying to do it. It's tough. I can't go there. Jets Johnny's up next. What's up, Johnny?
Jake, my brother, how you doing?
What's up, man?
It's funny because you said that you had discussed it and all this stuff, and obviously losing sucks and whatnot. But I'm the exact opposite way, bro. Because honestly, if you'd have told me before the game started that we scored over 30 points, I'd have said I don't give a damn how the game finishes. I'm happy because we scored 30 points. Then actually watching it and seeing how the offense operated, which is what we thought was gonna struggle and suck and whatnot. You know what I mean? To see them perform the way they performed, I was blown away by it. Never in my wildest dreams did I think Justin Fields was gonna come out there and go blow for blow with Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? So yeah, the defense giving up 34, that sucks. It sucks because if we would have just made the extra point, we're talking about overtime and, whatever. So there's a bunch of things that we could have improved on. But the fact that the offense looked that well game one, to me, is like I can feel positive going out of there because I think Aaron Glenn's a good head coach. And because I think he's a good head coach, I think we can fix these mistakes on defense. And obviously, if you fix the defense, now we're cooking with hot grease, So it sucks. I hate
Oh no, we lost you, Johnny. Your points are fair. They lost the game. I don't know if Aaron Glenn's a good coach. What is that based on? Maybe Engstrand's a good offensive coordinator. Glenn will get credit for hiring him, but I don't know. Maybe I'll be more positive this week. I'm just saying, I come on raw, unfiltered after these games. I just got to tell you how I feel. And while they certainly did a lot of good things, they lost the game. They scored 32 points and lost the game. It's not to be that excited about that. It just is. Team Curry says, have to acknowledge and salute McCrary ball. Tom Ace made this point in the comments. When Gibson fumbled the kick and he didn't realize that he wasn't touched, McCrary ball being that heads up, it was a very heady play. Jumping on the fumble, it's going to be completely forgotten in the long run, but that should be acknowledged. That was a very heady play by him. You can see why he's a captain. The guy's a smart football player. Spencer Green says, Bobby, make the loss better and get yourself a job. Love you. You're a legend. Michael says, sharing the 1 p.m. time slot with the Giants next Sunday, too. I realize it's stink related, but not right. I think it sucks when the Jets and Giants play at the same time because I have to watch both for my job on ESPN. So I need to know what they're doing, too. So I will, I have the Giant game on. I'll rewatch it later. NFL Plus does those condensed games, which are a lifesaver. But, yeah, I hate it. Especially this early. Like, there's only 4 late window games today in the 4 o'clock. Why couldn't the Giants or Jets play in one of those? Cheeseman, did you expect us to go undefeated? Come on, you picked the Steelers. No, Cheeseman, I didn't. But you know what? I want to win games. All right? I'm tired. I'm not making excuses for this team continuing to lose. They want to win us over, win football games. No, I didn't expect the Jets to go undefeated. And yes, I did pick the Steelers and a close one. But I picked the Steelers under the idea of it was going to be an ugly game. Then you wake up today and it's brutal in New York City weather-wise. It was going to be an ugly game. Both teams were going to struggle to move the ball, and I would take the team that has Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers over Justin Fields and an unknown and Aaron Glenn. That was my thought process. When the Jets score 32 points and don't win, I'm allowed to be upset. All right? So if you don't like it, leave. Leave. Did I expect them to go undefeated? No. But you know what? When you have an opportunity to win, and we've seen the same old story over and over and over again, and they haven't made the playoffs in 15 years, I think I'm allowed to be upset after they blew a game that was so winnable. That's why I'm upset, and Jet fans are allowed to be upset. I don't care if the expectations for this season's low. When you have a chance to win and defy the expectations, do it. This fan base has suffered enough. We don't need to sit here and try and sell us on moral victories. Win football games. It's enough. Win football games. Anthony says, I'm so sick of hearing about how good the Jets played after a loss. How about the Jets playing not so good and winning? That's the sign of a winning team. Amen. How much of what the Jets did today is now on tape, and the Buffalo Bills and their defense are going to go to school on it? Then we'll find out if this offense is legit. How do they adapt? How do they adjust to what they put on tape today? Because Buffalo's, you want to see if this team's really actually coached well? What's your game plan next week? Can you be team specific in your game plan? Because you're going to need to score points next week when you're playing Josh Allen. Paul is on the line. He's next. Hello, Paul.
How's it going? Thank you, by the way, because how can anybody even be optimistic? And this is exactly why I say all the time, same old Jets, right? Until we start winning football games when we're that close and turning the corner, I don't want to hear it. I don't care what we improved on. It's another embarrassment. I got to hear my Pittsburgh fans, my best friends, they're Steeler fans. Oh, that was a great game, wasn't it? Yeah, because you freaking won. If you would have lost, you wouldn't have said that. How could anybody sit here and not say it's the same old shit? We got out coached too, in my opinion. Not talked about enough. You know what? He missed the extra point. Good. They moved it up closer. You should have let him kick another extra point and walked on from it. That was a major cause of the game. And how many times did Aaron Rodgers always say last year, Change your fucking cleats, people. And what do these assholes still do? Sorry, but I am pissed. I'm so sick of this crap. What do they do?
Where are you calling us from, Paul?
Steelers? I'm in the shop right.
I love it.
You know, I gotta do my own crap here too, and I'm screaming all over the aisles. But let me ask you this: did the Steelers freaking players slip all over the place? No, they had the proper footwear on for their fucking team because they're better coached and they're more disciplined. And I'm just sick of it. It's like it's in your face every freaking time with this team, and people are like okay with it. I'm not. I'm sick of being embarrassed. Oh, another close one. Until we win those games, instead of losing them, we're going to keep being the same freaking losers that we are every year, and it doesn't stop. And it's not going to stop. And then what? Oh, we'll string off a couple games. We'll have a good win here or there. At the end of the year, this game's going to bite us in the ass. And then you know what's going to happen, right? We're going to walk with our tail between our legs again and just miss the playoffs. And only if we would have won week 1. Or if this didn't happen. Or next, somebody's going to get hurt. Like, it's just constant, people. And, like, I am not getting excited. And I'm sorry, but we still need much improvement. I'm trying to give Aaron Glenn a little bit because it is his first year as a head coach. But reality is when you're playing a team this good, you don't do stupid crap like that and go for 2. You take the freaking point and you walk away with the touchdown and make it 7-0. Instead, what'd you do? You missed it. You missed the opportunity. It's a lot harder to get a 2-point conversion. Everybody knows it. Don't go for it unless you need it. We didn't need it. Kick the extra point. The game would have been tied. We at least could have went into overtime. I'm sick of people slipping and falling wide open, embarrassing. Like, the list could go on, but let's not forget that the same result, people. It's the same fucking result.
Paul, do me a favor. Get some chips, get some guac. All right, calm down.
I should go back to drinking is what I should do.
I don't want to recommend that, you know?
No, I'm good, man. I'm over 10 months deep, but damn, a beer would go down good right now.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Anyway,
you might agree
thanks,
or disagree, but Paul's a Jet fan. He's one of us, and he's passionate.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
And he's built for it, man. I love it. Just imagine you just see Paul just screaming and yelling about dude's cleats in a shop right as you're out right now. We're all pissed, man. We all want this team to win. I get people trying to focus on the positives. I get it. But, like, we've done let's focus on the positive. It's like enough of the moral. I just want to win games, man. Every other team in the league seemingly could figure it out. The Browns have made the playoffs multiple times since the last time the Jets did. All right. It's enough. We want to win games. Bo checks in. Here it is, cut and dry. Steelers were in that pressure cooker just like us. The difference is they found a way to win. I saw positives. I'm not blind, but I'm not a suck pump, glass half full simp win. Is that a term? Suck pump. Either way, Bo, I'm with you, man. Believe me. Gator is on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, Gator McCluskey. Hello, Gator.
Hey, just a heads up in the private chat, Charles Gorman barked an order at you. Put me on, Jake. So in case you wanted to come back to me, I don't want him to get upset. I know it.
Charles, you're on the air. Go.
You get the fuck out.
Nice try, Charles. Hey, go ahead, Gator.
Perfect. Yeah, so I guess I was pretty low on the possibility of them winning this game. So I came away, pretty happy with the offense. Loved what I saw from Justin Fields. I was just blown away by Justin Fields in almost every way, shape, or form. He impressed the hell out of me. But this defense, I got to go back to something I heard the other day that I hadn't quite realized, that I guess Detroit was, in their last 6 games, ranked 31st in the league. I know they had injuries.
To be fair, they had like everyone injured. Like literally, like 2 years ago was a much better, indicator on the type of defense Glenn can coach up with talent.
But man, when was the last time we saw our defense look like, a top 5 defense? It seems like a really long time, doesn't it?
Well, 2 years ago.
That's a really long time. And I know. In the scope, right? And we saw so much of it today where, right after a score, they just seem to just let Rodgers go right down the field. So It was just enormously frustrating watching the game. But
they gave the game away, man. They had 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Rodgers played well today. I'm not trying to minimize. Like he had a very good game. He was making plays happen at the line of scrimmage, getting him in the right things. Like there's the mind game to that too. But his stat line is going to be, Rodgers torched the Jets. It's like that's really not what happened today. Like the Jets had opportunities to make plays of their own, and they didn't do it. It's just that's what kills me, man. Because like. The things that cost them the game today feel very preventable. Like that's what's so frustrating. This defense should be further along than the offense because 8 of the 11 guys are back, and there's more talent on that side of the ball than the offensive talent.
Yeah, and we know this week 1 is always an outlier. If you look across the league and see what's going on, the first 2 ever since preseason became this like no man's land in terms of like starters getting any time. We see the first 2 weeks of the season, and you kind of just have to dismiss them almost. So. I don't know how much of what we saw today is what this team really is. I don't know how much what we saw today is what the Steelers are, and again, across the league, because they don't play preseason. This is like their first, time that they're getting hit. It's the first time that they're really seeing pressure. There's a lot to learn about this team. It's just, I don't want to overreact too much, but did love what I saw about Fields. And I am optimistic, at least, that maybe we have our quarterback, and that's the thing I went into the season worrying about the most, is if Fields was going to step up and get it to the next level, and was he really going to be potentially a quarterback of the future? And that's like the main thing I come out of with this game is I don't know, I'm really excited about Fields, and hopefully they can get this shit figured out with the defense because man, that was a shit show.
Can they win next week? That's all I care about.
Yeah, well, hopefully doesn't look like another preseason game because when are they going to gel? It's not going to happen immediately. It's just like I said, we've seen it all over the league today that teams that we thought were going to be great are struggling. And it's like they're not going to look like that. By the bye.
By the way, first game for the Lions without Aaron Glenn. They're down 27-6. The Lions are going to take a step back this year. I'm not even overreacting. I felt this way before. They lost their whole coaching staff. Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, and like 8 different assistants too. Engstrand being one of them, by the way. I mean, you want to be positive. Honestly, beyond Fields, Tanner Engstrand to me was the other most positive. I know Garrett Wilson's awesome. If you listen to me, I've been telling you Breece Hall's really good, and last year was disappointing for everyone. Like some of the things we saw, we knew. Engstrand and Fields being great, that's the biggest positive from today by far.
Yeah, I feel bad for Garrett Wilson because the game ending in essence on his hit and drop ball. I'm sure he feels, and there's nobody that's going to hold on to that ball. So, yeah, it was a brutal loss. I think I was teased with a game that I thought we absolutely had in hand, and it was taken away from us, but can't be surprised.
Gator, excellent calls. If it's okay with you, I could go to Charles Gorman next.
I wouldn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gator Verklowski, one of the greats. The man behind the scenes making this show happen. Gator helped me play the Glenn and Fields presser, for example, earlier. Couple super chats here. John B says, Jake never change. My friend, your personal takes, passion, guest raffles in your show are untouchable. John, thank you, man. You've been a channel member for 16 months, so I appreciate that. Shout out to everyone. Raffle will be on Tuesday. This week, we got 4 prizes that we're going to raffle away. A signed Kevin Mawai jersey, a signed Sauce Gardner jersey, a signed Weeb Eubank helmet, and a signed Joe Namath jersey. So get the membership or send in a super chat, $10 or higher like Bo did, and you'll be entered in the raffle. Adam says the game plan was a winning formula. Now it's about execution, strategy, and culture. It takes time. Agreed. Adam, I hope you made it to the game safely. I know you flew in this morning. I get it. It's tough to not win that game. It just is. Ladies and gentlemen, despite what Gator said, I'm being fair. I'm going by who's been on hold the longest. I'm going in order here. Ladies and gentlemen, it happens to be this man's time to shine.
Hi, I'm Charles, and I'm going to talk about Spider-Man and movies and sports and video games and maybe hot chicks.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, Charles.
I know today is going to be miserable for a lot of Jet fans. I'm disappointed too. I did watch the entire game from beginning to end. And I got to say, I know they felt embarrassed, but I don't really felt that way for the most part. I didn't agree going for the first 2-point attempt of the game. Well, we should have kicked the extra point again. I do agree with Paul Faz on that. We should have kicked the extra point, but it is what it is. Aaron Glenn wanted to be aggressive, but I disagree with that call. Obviously, the defense was an absolute embarrassment today. I mean, the coverage was terrible. Brandon Stevens didn't know what the hell he was doing a lot of the times. Sauce looked good. Michael Carter II didn't look very good. Cisco was meh to me. Tony Adams, I'm not crazy about him. I never really was crazy about Tony Adams. In my brutal honesty, I don't know why we didn't play Malachi Moore, but that's just me. I thought our pass rush was fine. Will McDonald recorded his 4th career multi-sack game. Quinton Williams got a sack, and of course his brother Quincy got a sack too. But more important, we didn't force takeaway. So, hopefully we have a good game against Buffalo, but we'll see.
I guess we will see, Charles. Now, what did you do for the game, Charles? Where did you watch this thing?
I watched it on CBS too.
No, I'm aware the game was on CBS, Charles. Thank you.
Oh, what did I do? I had some chips.
No, I'll get to what you ate during the game next. I wanted to know, where did you watch the game?
Oh, in my apartment. I'm still in my apartment.
By yourself?
Yes.
Why didn't you invite anyone over to watch the game?
I chose to be by myself. I did talk to my dad after the game.
Why didn't you invite me over? I would have came over.
I'll do it next time, Jake, okay?
No, I don't want a backhanded invite now. It's not genuine.
It's not a backhanded invite.
I thought we were friends, Charles.
We are friends. Well, you don't invite me to your stuff
What are you talking about? I invite you to every event I do.
Talk about personal stuff, not major
What do you mean personal stuff?
Event. Never mind.
I've invited you to many strip clubs. You've turned down all of them.
You never invited me to a strip club. Don't start with me.
That's false. Show everyone the fanny pack I sent you, by the way.
I do have the fanny pack with me.
Go get it.
Oh, it's on my tape. Better now, Jake. I have it on.
We can't see it. Go a little lower, Charles. Give the people what they want. There it is. That's an Asmaniac fanny pack, folks. And for you to not invite me to your football viewing party after I sent you that, Charles, very disappointing.
I'll tell you what, my birthday's coming up this Wednesday. I may invite. No. I don't know what I'm doing with my family, but I'll let you know, okay?
All right. Keep me posted. And if anything, call in on Wednesday so we can all wish you a happy birthday.
I will, Jake. Thank you.
You got it. You're the man, Charles.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Glowski takes steroids. Please, some of it. Hey, Charles. Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles.
Shout out to Gorman, a legend. Ralphie, super chat. More of your calls coming up. Home stretch of the show here. We're almost at the 3-hour mark. Just tuning in. Forgive me if it's said already. Do you think it was the roughing the passer on Ramsey on the play Simpson got the 15-yarder on? I thought that was absolutely roughing the passer. And I agree with you. That same play was on Rodgers. It would have been called 100%. He speared him. You can't spear the quarterback in today's NFL. And you know what? Simpson, obviously, you don't want him to get that penalty there because it could have prevented you from maybe getting a last-second field goal before the first half. I like him coming to the defensive fields, though. I know J.J. Watt was all over it on the broadcast. By the way, all right, J.J. Watt is a hell of a broadcaster. Trust me. He is really good. For a guy that was his second ever game in the booth because he did the Jets-Eagles preseason game. Obviously, Ian Eagles, phenomenal. You guys know what I think about Ian if you watch the show. I thought J.J. Watt was really good. It didn't matter that his brother was on the Steelers. He was funny. And look, I'm a little biased because I covered JJ when I was in Houston doing radio there, and he always treated me well. But I thought he was really, really good. I mean, that guy's good at everything, seemingly. So I thought the announce crew was excellent. It's a shame the Jets are dog crap, so we're going to get, typically the worst broadcast teams unless the Jets start winning games. It could change that narrative. Mike says, only so-called good defense that never has takeaways. It's always a slip or exactly, Mike. Thank you. This defense wants to be one of the best in the league. 8 of its 11 starters are back. 2 passes hit them in the hands. They didn't make the play. Didn't fall on the phone. I agree. That's why I'm so frustrated, man. The strength of the team is supposed to be the defense. Brutal. More calls. Here we go. Cynthia's next. Hello, Cynthia.
Hey, how are you, Jake?
I'm good, Cynthia. As well as one could be after that. How are you?
Yes, I'm okay. First time caller here, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I just wanted to let you know I fall on the positive side because for the first time in the last 3 years, I actually enjoyed the game. We actually scored a touchdown. I mean, like comparing to last year, what we were seeing where we were lucky if we got a field goal. I mean, that's why I take away from it that I enjoyed the game. Yes, does it suck that we lost? Yeah, I felt like I was watching the cardiac Knicks. It was like no cardiac Jets. But because they made it close, and I look at it the other way too. Yes, we allowed 34 points, but the Steelers they have a good coach. That the Steelers allowed 32 points, to the Jets. Was supposed to be the bad ones of the league. So I'm looking at the positive, and I know Jacob, like you said, I'm not gonna tell anybody how to fan. But does it hurt? Yes, but I'm just happy that I saw some excitement, that I saw some creative offense. I'm not gonna PP and on AG. Yeah, I'm actually also thinking, he's trying too hard for the 2-point conversions. Maybe just do it the traditional way, but I'd rather see him than what we've seen in the past 3, coaches that we've had. So I'll keep it short. I agree with you with JJ Watt. I thought he was excellent. I really, really liked his commentary. Thought he did a phenomenal job. He was excited with the game. He was even keeping it positive with the Jets too. So I'm gonna keep it positive. Yes, I mean I love Josh. I don't think we're 1-6. I think before I'm like you. I was like 6 or 7, wins, and when we lost ABT, I'm like, okay, do I have to rethink now? But I'm still at the 6 and 7 wins, hoping. And I like the direction where we're going, and I'm just saying, look, it's the first game. It's game 1. We have 16 others to go. And hopefully it'll be a fun year. I don't expect them to be in the Super Bowl. Do I want them to be in the playoffs? Yes, but I'm not really, it won't surprise me if we don't make the playoffs, to be honest. But I am looking forward to this new coaching team, staff, and what they can do and see more of them. I'm glad that AG said, you're going to do penalties. We're going to sit you down. I thought he held his own against a good coach. I know a lot of people said he got out coached, but I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit more positive and I think I have some other people there too on the side. So I'm just keeping it positive. But first time calling, I've been around for a long time and hope to see you. I am going to the October game. So.
Love that. Well, Cynthia, I had no idea. I've met you so many times in person at events and stuff. I never even realized that this was your first time call. So
this is my first time calling, even though I've been to all the parties.
Calling more, all right? You're a great caller, Cynthia. Love your energy, love your passion for the team and the Jets. That we share our love of the Knicks as well. So love it. Great.
And one more thing. I'm sorry, Jake. Shout out to Paul. He said he was 10 months in with, if I understood him correctly, with I'm taking a drink. Go, Paul. That's all.
Love it. Cynthia checking in. Excellent call. Excellent. I'll give you guys 2 positives here. Sauce shut down DK. Looked like Sauce Gardner today. Samini's got the stats here. Gardner only allowed 2 catches for 18 yards. I mean, a couple of the Metcalf plays happened like in zone when the Jets just didn't cover anyone. It was ridiculous. More positives. Armand Membu, 26 pass blocking snaps, only 1 quarterback pressure allowed, no penalties. Great debut for him. Mason Taylor, he was out there, made that nice play. So there's your rookie report from Samini. There's positives, man. It's just I'm tired of the moral victories. Win games. Bounce back next week. Beat the Bills at home and show us something. Peter says, put me in the raffle. Screw it. The more I think about it, AG's going to hand down some ass whoopings, and I think the defense will show up next week. We'll all live happily ever after. I don't know what gives you that indication, Peter. I hope you're right, though. Cheese says, glad to hear some positives from you, Jake. Cheese, I opened the goddamn show talking about how great Fields was, Engstrand, but I'm not going to be excited that they lost. I can't do it, man. If you want to be positive after a demoralizing loss where the strength of the team allowed 34 points, you do it. Where Xavier Gibson, who has no business being out there on the field, is costing them a game, you do it. I can't allow some of these positives, which are clear positives, right? Fields, Engstrand, Garrett, Breeze, Braylon, the O-line, all of that. It doesn't help me make up for the fact that I am in great fucking pain because they lost a devastating game at home. I can't fake it. I can't. I know some of you want me to fake it. I can't do that. People say to me, oh, would you ever work for the Jets? Never. Never. I got to call it how it is. I got to be honest. Like, I live and die with this team, but this is what comes with that. I can't fake it. Black Gypsy, thank you for the gifted membership. You're on the raffle. Big fella, one positive. Ruckert, I shouted them out earlier. Good game by Jeremy Ruckert. More of that, please. Please. 2 awesome catches today. I think they were both on third down. One of them was, that throw by Fields, he was so good. That's why I feel for him. I feel like if they won, he changes the narrative nationally. Like, yeah, people will know that he played well, but they didn't win. It's going to be all about Rodgers coming back and being it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. That's why I'm so annoyed too. Fields played great. Not good. He was great. And for Jet standards, it's one of the best games by a Jet quarterback in a game that actually mattered in a long time. Because, Rodgers had some great games late, but they were done by then. Like, he threw 4 touchdowns his last game as a Jet. He threw 4 touchdowns against the Jets today. Crazy. Nick Shine in the house. Pros, run game. JJ, Will, Sauce, Q, Tip, Membu, Ruck, Brees, O-line, Scheme, Fields. Love you, Jake. Hugs. Nick Shine, thank you, man. Talk to you later this week. Malcolm Flex is up next. What's up, Malcolm?
Man, it sucks. It really does because, this was one of those narrative-defining games. But one thing I'll just say, and no one's saying it, I'm not going to be that guy where I'm like, oh, no one's talking about this. But, this loss really goes to Darren Muji. When we look at some of the free agent acquisitions, like I said, again, you can say what you want about Aaron Glenn being good with DBs and being, I guess, the guy that can fix Brandon Stevens and Andre Sisco and make Tony Adams play well. But there were some better options at safety. We've known safety's been our weakness, and really the only place where DJ has gotten off outside of the inexplicable, nickel coverage, and then let's not even talk about Calvin Austin somehow squirting loose. But it was when he was being passed off in the zone, like you had just said. And so it was one of those situations where I'm looking at this thinking like, what the heck, what the heck are we doing with the safety position? Like, we have fixes on the roster, but you're going to sacrifice a lot to do it. Number one, you can't play. If you play, good luck to you. That's a hard thing to come by, a hard thing to get back. And then, let's not even talk about Malachi Moore. Again, you're sacrificing a lot if you make him play true safety instead of, having him be able to be that big nickel eraser type. So it's like, we've got some fixes on the roster. But the fact that we're having to go through, and it's just like with offensive line depth, God forbid something where it happened to John Simpson. You're burning through a lot of your extra pieces that you're going to need. And I'll just say this, you're going to have a hard time when it comes down to playing against the Buffalo Bills after they get a whole load of Baltimore Ravens tape, because Baltimore Ravens is basically the same kind of offense that we run, just in a different style flavoring. So they're going to have lots of Lamar Jackson to prepare for Justin Fields.
And they have a lot of tape on what Fields did today, right? You had the element of surprise is not there next week in a lot of the things that you showcased today. So can Tanner Engstrand now, design a new game plan that's different that they didn't show everything today. So, look, if they're really well coached, they will, but that's why it's like, we don't know. You could have just had this win today. And then at least if you lose next week, all right, you're 1-1. Go into Tampa, you're fine. You're not in a desperate, oh my God, our season's essentially on the line the third week of the season. That's the spot they put themselves in.
Mm-hmm. Nope. But we might be due for a regression back to the mean. But I will say Justin's looked better than all of the quote unquote PB reclamation projects this week. Sam Darnold looked meh. Baker Mayfield meh. CJ Stroud still hadn't found his groove. So that's looking up, but it might not be for long. So We'll
Well,
see.
Stroud's established himself. Like he's not he's won a playoff game the last 2 years. That
Mhm.
Darnold, I can't speak to Darnold because I haven't been able to see that game doing the show.
Yeah,
I
it
know
wasn't good, man.
Yeah.
Somehow, after 2 interceptions, we still ended up finding a way to lose on the Seahawks front. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the scores from the late window now. I mean, like the only other positive too, Flex, good call. At least the Patriots and the Dolphins lost. For the AFC East. I guess we root for the Ravens tonight, right? Yeah. But then part of me, like, this is like, so you obviously root for the Ravens, but like the fan psychological aspect is like, well, if the Ravens beat the Bills, like, are the Bills really going to be 0-2? But you know what? Screw that. The Ravens last year were 0-2. They lost to the Raiders at home, and the Raiders sucked. So screw that. Go Ravens tonight. Hopefully it's a game that goes to overtime, and it's very physical and taxing on the Buffalo Bills. Whoever wins. Dolphins suck, though, by the way. I know it's week 1, but I've never felt better about my take that the Jets will not finish last in the AFC East. Mike G, are you there? You're the next caller on the program. Let's see if Mike is there.
How many people are in front of us?
Hey, Mike.
Oh. Jake,
Mike.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Jake, first off, I want to say congratulations to you. It was so awesome being able to hear you on ESPN radio, you and Mr. T. First and foremost, amazing.
Thank you,
Absolutely
Mike.
amazing. Secondly, I'm going to be the optimistic Jets fan right here. I have been a Jets fan now for 30-something years. I have seen so much of it, and I know that today was crushing. And trust me, with the 2-point conversions and the 60-yard field goal, I saw it coming. But on the same note, what I also saw was a quarterback in Justin Fields, a guy who is playing for his career. This is it. If he does not make it here, he's a career backup. I saw a guy who led the team out there, who was efficient, who took care of the ball, who was making winning plays, made big throws. I saw a team that had more liveliness than I have seen. Last season was unwatchable. I went to one of your watch parties. Unwatchable. The team was horrific. Terrible coaching, lifelessness, the toxicity of the Rodgers situation. And yes, I'm going to say it's on Rodgers to some degree on that. I'm not saying we're going to win next week. It's going to be a tough game. But what I saw today was a team. All right, our special teams lost to their special teams. Gibson dropped the ball. Shouldn't have done it. They hit a 60-yard field goal. I'm choosing to be an optimist. I really like what the offense looked like. I like the energy. I like the risk taking. I liked all of it. And you know what? Glenn, when he was asked about what a successful season would be, he said culture building. And you know what? This new culture of the team, I think we're heading in the right direction. This is not going to be a Super Bowl year. This is not even necessarily going to be a playoff year. And I think we're going to be in the mix as long as they do not let this fall off. But I appreciate the opportunity to be on with you, and I'll listen to, obviously, your comments on everything.
Mike, appreciate it. Glenn didn't say he wants to change the culture when he was asked what his expectations for the season were. He said he wants to have a team that Jet fans will be proud of. And he goes, I don't know what that looks like exactly, but I know it means we had a lot of wins if that's the case, which is a good answer. But guess what? They didn't win the game today. There's no moral victories. Not when you haven't made the playoffs in 15 years. Win games. So we can be positive, but I can't allow myself to feel good after a loss when it's this early. Not when you led in the fourth quarter and blew the game again, which they led the NFL in last year, by the way. By the way, Robert Saleh's defense just came up with a huge stop against Sam Darnold. Of course. Nick Bosa hit Sam Darnold's arm and the ball was loose, and the Niners are going to get a road win. And the Niners, by the way, easiest schedule in the league. If they just get some injury luck, unlike last year, they're going to be in a good spot. That was a good hire bringing Saleh back as their DC. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 calls left. First, we say hello to this guy.
It's time for another V-Man call. Hopefully he no sleeping. Adios mio.
Hey, Jake, what's up?
Hello, V-Man.
Okay, say short term disappointment, long term, I'm feeling better than obviously you are. Like, look, usually with the Jets, it's the other way around. It's always been for the Jets. It's always the defense puts up this monumental performance and the offense always wets the bed. So we're reverse, and you have two smart defensive coaches, which, like, I trust their pedigree to fix this. It's unfortunate that, we lost. And I'm going to sit here and say that, yes, the secondary needs work. We should have gotten better options. You can see how much DJ Reed is clearly missed in the secondary right now. And the second thing is, I saw this. I was actually watching I was watching Let's Talk Jets live stream, and they mentioned this. Someone mentioned in the chat. This is the first time since 1991 the Jets went the entire first half without punting.
And they lost. Great.
I know. I'm just saying that's never happened in either of our lifetimes. So I get it. It's frustrating. And you mentioned this. I think the positive was the offense looked good. I trust the pedigree of the defensive staff to clean up some of these issues, because there are a couple little mistakes here. Special teams, that fumble cannot happen. That cannot happen. You got to also make your PATs. That's another thing, And yeah, the offense looked good. The defensive line looked good. It's just the secondary and a couple of those stupid little and the fumble killed us. That's really what killed us right there for the most part. But like you said, we're fortunate that, look, we're not competing with the Bills for the top of the division. Our goal is to get to second place. And the teams we're competing for second place all lost. So that's the important thing.
I don't know, man. I appreciate it, what you're trying to do, but
I know.
Great that they lost, but like the Jets could have won. Like we could have been enjoying a win, V-Man, and then made fun of the fact that the Dolphins lost to Daniel Jones, that the Patriots choked and blew it to the Raiders, like in Geno. Like that would have been fun. I can't enjoy
I know it
the
would have
Jets
been fun.
lose.
I know it would have been fun. Like, look, the past is in the past. It can't be changed. All we can do is learn from it and progress forward.
All right, that works. I hope they win next week. That's all I'm going to say.
I do. Well, look, we always play division rivals tough. We always play the Bills. We've always played the Bills tough.
They played the Steelers tough. They lost. I want to win. Enough of tough. Win the game.
I know. Look,
tell me they're going to win next week, V-Man. Tell me.
I'm like that. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to be confident.
So the Jets are winning next week. Say it.
The Jets will get a W next week.
That's the end of that V-Man call. Now he can go back to sleeping.
Amen, V-Man. That's what I need. All right. You're going to win next week. The goal is not to be second. The goal is to win as many games as possible in the playoff drought. Have a winning record. Win more than 7 games for the first time in a decade. It's just brutal. You know what's such a bummer too? I'm scrolling through Twitter here to make sure I didn't miss anything. The Fields 4th and goal quarterback keeper where he ran the bootleg and fooled the entire Steelers defense. He high steps in the end zone and he did the jet plane. He brought that back. We haven't seen a jet do that since Antonio Holmes and Braylon Edwards, Cotry and Sanchez. And they still fucking lost the game and didn't even win after all that. I'm just 3 hours in to doing the show and I'm still just pissed. I really am. They didn't even win. That was such a great moment. That would have been, I'd be playing that all week. And it's just bittersweet, man. It really is. I'm glad Fields looked great. I hope he could sustain some of that. You can't expect him to be that good every week, but man, what a moment that was. All right, one last call, and then we'll get out of here. We're 3 hours in. Big thank you to everyone who's watching. There's still 700 of you in here. There'll be thousands after the fact. So if you've made it this far, Thank you. Join the Patreon if you haven't. Get access to our Discord, bonus shows, everything we're offering there. Again, love all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
And oh shit. Xavier Gibson looked like he shit the bed today. Really, really bad. Not that good. I think it's time. Pink slip number 1. Bye-bye Gibson. Bring me another man who has a brain and at least some pair of balls at least. The defense needs to do some major upgrading because there was, in the words of Guru Monsoon, there was a lot of lacking. And I mean lacking. Not enough speed, not enough discipline. There's a lot of miscommunication there, and those need to be fixed up real bad, and it better get fixed real fast. And that means starting next week, no more fucking around. The fucking around comes to a dead stop. We're here to win games, and we're here to win now. N-O-W. It means get your fucking head straight. Get them out your asses. Stop sitting on your phone playing, Mr. Kim, I gotta go to bed. Nothing. Start winning goddamn games. Get your fucking shit together. Act straight. Look straight. And do your goddamn part like everybody else. And Mike Tannenbaum, if you need me, I'll give you my phone number. You can call my ass, and I'll tell you how to get the job done. I'll do it in a hard way like anybody else has done on this planet. And I'll run it blow by blow. And I'll show you how we're going to do it. We're going to do it by example. You want to win games? Get off your ass. No more fucking around. No more playing on your phone. Come now and get ready, because come next week, no more playing games. No more sitting around. No more the other bullshit. We're gonna leave that in the back. Until you want to leave your drama, leave it at home and come up to work and do your fucking part like everybody else and earn your keep. You don't want to be here, you can leave. It's one or the other. It's like a restaurant door that swings 2 goddamn ways, in and out. And if you don't want to be here, tell us. Tell us. If you don't want to be here, tell us. We'll go out and kiss my big ass. Woo!
Thank you, Beast. Well said. Mike Tannenbaum is not the Jets GM anymore, though, so please direct your comments to Darren Muji, who is the GM. Spencer Green says, tell me, you big bastard, get your big ass up and show the players the correct form they need to use. Beast, can you demonstrate how to catch an interception so Brandon Stevens and Michael Carter don't drop one next week?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to class 101. To position yourself, you need to learn the lines. Defense needs to learn this. All you big dudes, stay up here. All your corners, get ready and look physical and hungry. This right here in your back, look physical. If you see an interception and you see it coming, you know what it is. If there's a drop, get that goddamn ball, run the son of a bitch, and then just dive it into the end zone like that. Come on. It's not fucking difficult. This is a ball. Use it goddamn wisely and use this fucking thing called a head. Learn the basics. Next week, when we go to Buffalo, no more games, no more playing around. Get physical, or if you don't want to be here, you can leave.
Thank you, Beast. Well said. Hey, before we get out of here, ZipRecruiter is one of our sponsors. ZipRecruiter, they're going to make it easy for you to hire the best candidates, and also they're going to make it easy for you to find the best jobs. If you're someone who's looking for a job, if you're trying to find the right person to hire, you know it's not easy. You get flooded with all these resumes. You get people that don't have the exact skill set or the experience that you're looking for. ZipRecruiter, they're going to make it easy for you to discover great candidates and do it fast. By the way, you could try everything I'm about to say for free if you go to ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter smart technology. It works for you the moment you post the job. Their matching system instantly begins showing you qualified candidates, so you're not wasting time sifting through the wrong resumes. And when you find people you like, you connect right away using ZipRecruiter's ready to send invite to apply message. It's a quick way to personally reach out and encourage them to apply sooner. So ditch the other hiring sites. Let ZipRecruiter help you find that needle in the haystack. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free. Once again, this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Again, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Last chance to get your super chat read. If anyone has anything, programming this week, Robbie Sable tomorrow at 10 a.m. We start at 4 p.m. in the afternoon with Will Parkinson. Joe Beningo, Tuesday, 10 a.m. He's normally Mondays, but for tomorrow only, he will be a Tuesday spot. So for those asking about Joe B, for the second straight year, he will be a weekly on our show on Monday mornings outside of this week. Love all of you. The Jet pain never ends. Now, we all could sit here and hope things will get better. I hope they do, but football is back. The pain is here. You guys are great. Thanks to everyone who called in today. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. Do me a favor if you haven't, please click the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'm going to post my link to my Instagram in the chat as well. Would love for you to follow me there. Going to be posting a lot of behind-the-scenes content from this show and my jobs with ESPN and Sirius. So check it out. Jet fans, hang in there. Fortunately, we've been through this how many times now? This is my 5th year doing daily videos on the Jets. 5th season. Hopefully the winning starts one of these days, man. Brutal. On that note, I will talk to you guys soon. JETS. Jets, Jets, Jets. Joining us right now is a new member of the ESPN family. He's also an
Nobody gives a shit.
Hold on. I'm having some glitches here, Rich.
Oh, that was great. That was perfect. Nobody gives a shit.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the fuck out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.